Hey, what's up? What's up? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. So, my name is Nick. I am the local South Florida Uber driver. I'm local just because you never really know where I'm going to be in the next couple of days, months, years. Hey, but I primarily work the South Florida market. In today's video, man, listen, this live stream is more so just to chat with you guys because I don't know if y'all been checking the news, but it's still not looking too good for Drivewhip. So just to start this off, about a year ago, I helped promote, being another guy, helped promote Drivewhip. Um, Drivewhip is a company that rents cars to Uber drivers. Their whole thing was that they allow you to use their claim to fame was that they had Teslas. And in our market here in South Florida, nobody was renting out Teslas. And their claim to fame was that they allowed you to use multiple platforms with their Teslas. It was a straightforward price, everything was on the up and up. Even though they were out of Maryland, that was their claim to fame. But that was a year ago. That was a year, So when I originally promoted them, I was with the company. I had been with the company for about 6 months. Um, I wanted to put my neck out on the line. I didn't want to just recommend a company if I wasn't with them. At that time I was with them, definitely with them, and so when I promoted them, I was promoting them out of the common sense thing of like, listen, this is a better option. The only other option at that time was Hertz. I mean, really, I did that time and this time was Hertz for a Tesla to rent a Tesla. Last year, everybody wanted to drive a Tesla. This year, maybe not. But last year, everybody wanted to drive a Tesla. Everybody wanted to be in a Tesla because with a Tesla, you had all of the platforms. As an Uber driver, you had all of the platforms. You had Uber Black. I mean, well, if you had, because they allowed you to do both apps, you had Uber Black. I mean, not Uber Black. You had Lyft Black. You had Uber Premier, you had Comfort Electric. Comfort Electric used to pay amazing last year. You had Comfort, and then of course you had Uber X. So you had all of the platforms, and then obviously on Lyft at that time, you think we still had Lyft Lux. So you had Lyft Lux, you had Lyft Black, and then you have um, and then yeah, other than that, you had Lyft regular. And so you had a lot of options as an Uber driver, as an Uber and Lyft driver. They were a great, well, I guess a decent company. The customer service has always sucked because everything has been through text message. Uh, but you just knew that once you got your car, it was good. But lately, they've been having some issues. So, if you guys have been watching my channel, I've just been trying to keep you guys updated. Again, I'm not affiliated with Drivewhip. Drivewhip doesn't talk to me. They don't like me, but they use my face on everything, and they know who I am. Yeah, so they use me to promote their company still to this day. But they don't talk to me. So I like to keep you guys updated. If you haven't seen the news, the video tonight I will be dropping. Well, I mean, maybe I don't know. There's a news article. I wish I could post it, but there's a news article from Channel 7. Apparently, two of Drivewhip's Teslas got stolen out of a local shop. Now I don't know if they say exactly that it's Drivewhip's Teslas, but yeah, it's Drivewhip's Teslas. Oh, you guys know, just to keep you update, this is just recapping. This is just recapping, so don't beat me up. Just so you guys know, if you're an Uber driver, you rent through Drivewhip, then you already know this. Over the last month or last couple of weeks, we've gotten two emails from Uber just talking about Drivewhip's insurance. In the emails, the issue wasn't necessarily that Uber was coming at Drivewhip for personal reasons. It was just saying that their insurance didn't meet the requirements of the state of Maryland. Again, I promote the company because even though they weren't here in South Florida, they were servicing our market. And as long as you could text them, you could get a car. And you get a car, they don't bother you. That's why I promoted them. That's where I was coming from. Because as a driver, your biggest resource is your vehicle. And knowing that you have a set price, unlike Hertz, unlike Avis, knowing that you're just paying $400 or $500 a month, I mean a week, is amazing because you can budget it. You can kind of plan for it. But that was a year ago. Within the last month, Uber has been coming at Drivewhip regarding the insurance. So that's been an issue for people that rent with Drivewhip. Like, okay, are we still gonna be on the Uber platform? Are we not? Like, is Lyft gonna be touched? Is it not? Nobody really knows the answer. Obviously, nobody knows. But if you still have a Drivewhip vehicle, if you're still with Drivewhip, then you know that your car is still activated. So Uber has not obviously hasn't came out and said, "Hey, you know those two emails that we sent out, those two notifications that we sent out? Yeah, we just gonna disregard that." Uber hasn't said that officially, unofficially, whatever. Nobody from Uber has said, "Hey, the stuff that we said, you're good." Of course, Drivewhip said that you're good, so whatever. If you have a car with Drivewhip, then you know that your car hasn't been deactivated. So we just collectively assume that we're good, but nobody knows. So today, if you check the news, I think it was on Channel 7. Like I said, I don't remember. I'm getting this information from my group. So shout out to Ron in the group. If you need an emergency roadside mechanic, Ron is your guy. I need to post his information. Yeah, I need to post his information. I'll definitely do that in the video tonight. But yeah, Ron is the guy that kind of came with this information. I had a couple people reach out to me, but Ron was the one that came with the link. So it's like, all right, cool. Well, but yeah, so what it is that Drivewhip does business with one of the local tire shops here, Bellado Tires. Um, Bellado Tires is the one that they kind of, I don't know, agreed on servicing their vehicles. And apparently, two of Drivewhip's Teslas got stolen from Bellado Tires, and they found them in the ditch or whatever, down the street or whatever, which is crazy because it's a Tesla. You don't hear Teslas being stolen. You hear Teslas being broken into. You hear people throwing stuff at them, vandalizing them, but you do not hear Teslas being stolen. The reason is because it's still one of the hardest cars to steal. So you basically you got basically like a 100% tracker on the car because like if you have the app, you can tell exactly where the car is, like to the point that I know how fast the car is going. I know how fast it is. You can look through the cameras, you know exactly where the car is. But apparently two of Drivewhip's Teslas have gotten stolen. So it's just interesting. This is just interesting information. If you're still a renter with Drivewhip, it's really interesting. um it's definitely interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's very interesting. Um, because the fact that they have Teslas that's like doing that, that's kind of crazy. The fact that they're stealing Teslas from them, that's kind of crazy. So yeah, like I said, I just wanted to kind of come live just to kind of see what you guys were thinking about it. I don't know what to think about it because, like I said, I did promote the company, and a lot of you guys still hit me up about Drivewhip. So I don't know. Well, what do you guys think about Drivewhip? Are you still running with them? Did you give your cars back? Does this make you say, I don't know? Because they're still having issues. They're still having issues. Um, I don't know. A year ago, they didn't have none of these issues. Now it's like stuff just keeps happening back to back. So yeah, you guys tell me. Uh, let's see, let's see. So let me go ahead and read the comments because I see you guys. So also back. I don't know if I said that right, but hello to you too, Gracie. Hey, Gracie. Gracie says she'll sub because why not? You're welcome. Okay, well, all right. Appreciate the sub. Next say, hey, I don't know what that's saying. Are you to go? I don't know what that says. Ryan Montgomery, Ryan, what's up, bro? Uh, let's see. Cool guy says, what's up? All right. Uh, okay, cool. Do you feel better? Hey, what's up, cool guy? You good, man? You good in my comments? I don't know. I don't know what you got going on. But yeah, how you guys doing? Yeah, I'm just tapping in because this is kind of, this is just, it's just interesting to me because, last year they didn't have any problems whatsoever. Now it's stuff coming back and forth, back to back regarding Drivewhip. So and I thought about it from the perspective of because obviously you guys know I rent a lot of cars. Because my personal car is it's in some insurance company's lot. So yeah, I rent cars to go everywhere that I go now. And yeah, you don't hear about this happening to Hertz. Excuse me, you don't hear about this happening to Hertz or Avis or Enterprise or Six. And they have some nice cars, especially Six. They have the luxury line, BMWs, Mercedes, and obviously like rental car companies get brand new vehicles, So like when I drove the Charger, the 2025 Charger, it was on a rental car company. When I've driven the Jetta, I've driven a lot of nice cars, but you don't hear about the rental car companies having their vehicles stolen. It's just interesting that you hear about this one is concerning Drivewhip. And they basically only service Uber drivers, Lyft drivers. Um, yeah, it's just interesting. It's very interesting. So yeah, what do you guys think? Um, right, cool guy, love you too. Um, yeah, what do you guys think about this? Yeah, because But yeah, like I said, I wanted to make sure that you guys are updated. This is in the news today. This was a story that happened in the news. The video that'll drop later on tonight, I'll just rehash it. And I'll kind of put the actual news article. I think I'll put the actual news clip of them talking about, the cars being stolen to give you more detail from the news, Yeah, I just thought it was, that's crazy. Again, another situation happening with Drive Whip. It's one of those things. Like when it rains, it definitely pours. When it rains, it definitely pours. So, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I always say like things happen for a reason. I always say things happen for a reason. uh, okay. Hey, what's up, Bright Star? All right. But yeah, so let's see here. But yeah, so today, other than that, my day has been fairly okay. Yeah, my day has been fairly slow. Yeah, fairly slow. Definitely been slow today. Um, yeah, I've been working, I've been trying to like kind of move around in the city. Haven't been getting my normal rides, but I mean it is Thursday, so Thursday I was working earlier. So I'm hoping that it picks up later on today. That's really what I'm hoping for. Later on it should definitely pick up. So I'm hoping. Maybe I can get some of my big rides, finish out the day with 200. But right now it don't look like it. It's been a tough day. It's been more of a volume day. Like I've been doing a ton of rides, but not bigger rides. Now I don't do $2 and $3 rides unless I'm doing a quest. I yeah, I don't do $2 and $3 rides personally. Personally, I'm good. um, yeah. Oh, what are you talking about? Let me see. Um, okay, so Dracula, are you an alcohol baby? You look like one. Damn. Okay. Well, thanks. Okay. I appreciate the compliment. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. You say it's fetal alcohol syndrome? You have autism. People at school tell you it's bad. I mean, listen, it's what you got. So it's your life. Um, can't nobody tell you what's bad for your life. If that's what you got to grow up with, then that's what you got to grow up with. That's like saying somebody that's like saying that somebody grew up with one eye. That's what they got to grow up with. Sure, you don't want that to be your life, but if you growing up with one eye, you got to deal with it. So no, it's not bad. It's just what you have. I'm not gonna say it's bad because we all have insecurities and disabilities. Just because you may look good on the outside, don't mean that you have it all in the inside. Or just because you have it on the inside, don't mean you have it on the outside. Uh, you know, does it mean that you're missing something? No, it just depends on how you look at it. Perception is everything. You're different. That's what it means. And that's a good thing because you are who you are. Always remember that your name is your name because it's you. Nobody else can be you. Um, you know, According to science, your thumbprint, this fingerprint is uniquely tied to you. Uh, okay, you say you don't want to be different. Well, listen, that's why they got plastic surgery. So it looks like you're gonna have to make some money, and if you don't already have the money, you do plastic surgery. Or I mean, we're talking about autism, so it's not really that's more mental. You know, listen, I'm pretty sure somebody that's missing an eye doesn't want to be missing an eye, but hey, it is what it is. Unfortunately, if that's how you were born, that's how you were born. But I don't want to be different. Um, I want to have friends at school. Trust me, you will have friends at school. Um, yeah, I want to have friends at school. You'll have friends at school. People will like you for you. It'll take time, but hey, Mm, 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 mm. You'll have friends. Yeah, you'll have friends. Everybody has friends. Uh, Keeping it real with Dom. At the moment, no. I have a surprise coming up on Monday. Monday, I have a surprise. Yesterday, they said that if I ate my own feces, they would be my friend. But when I ate it, they made fun of me, and now everyone calls me mean names. Well, listen. Unfortunately, that's just kids, man. You'll be okay. Um, Second of all, don't eat your own feces. Don't do that anymore. Uh, yeah, I'll tell you more about it on Monday. It's a surprise. It's a surprise. You can kind of guess, but it's a surprise. Yes. I'll do a reveal on Monday. What happened with Vinny? I don't know. You would have to reach out to Vinny. Like I said, I don't know. You would have to talk to Vinny. Have nothing to do with Vinny. I just wanted friends really bad. I didn't want to eat it. Well, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Listen, you're a special person, Dracula. I just want you to know that. So yeah, even though you may not have friends now, friends will come. Take it from somebody that's older than you. It seems like I'm older than you, but again, you probably older than me. Listen, you don't have to chase friends. Friends will come. They will come when they come. Don't worry about it. It doesn't feel good now, but they'll come. Uh, yeah, yeah. So like I said, don't do that again, please. Again, take it from somebody that yeah, yeah, like take it from somebody that is I would assume I'm older than you. Don't do that again. You should never eat your feces. That's a crazy statement. Um, yeah, that's a very crazy statement. Uh, yeah, especially to please people. You'll be okay. I promise. I promise. Even though I have no clue who you are, even though we could be miles apart or we could be close. I don't know, but you'll be okay. Friends will come. You don't have to chase friends. And if they're telling you to do crazy stuff like that, you don't need them. It's okay. You'll have friends. Well, yeah. What's up, Jordan? What's up? What's up, brother? Blessings to you, to your blessings to you, Jordan. Sounds like Drivewhip might be bankrupt. Uh, yeah. Again, I don't know. I don't. They don't talk to me personally. They've just been Um, yeah, they've been using my information and my likeness and all of that stuff. I know is that we promoted them, and from there they gave us we had a obviously, um, and that was the relationship that I had with Drivewhip. I had my vehicle, made my payments on time. That's all I knew. They didn't never say like, "Hey, let people know we're opening up in Atlanta," or let people know that we have, I don't know, 300 cars in the market. All I know is that I had a vehicle and I made my payments on time, and yeah, that's it. So, like I said, I don't know. That's my perspective. Vinny was the one that was saying that he was talking to them and he was gonna get them on the podcast and all of that stuff. So that is a question more so for Vinny, not for me, because they don't talk to me. All I know is if my payment was late, they cut my car off. I didn't, obviously I didn't have a late payment, but yeah, that's all I know. That was my perspective. So outside of that, I have no clue what's going on with them. Everything that I know currently is like I was just literally on the news today, and I seen that I seen this news story on Channel 7. I'm like, well, no, actually, I'm lying. I seen I have I had people reaching out to me like, "Have you heard about Drive Whip? Have you heard about Drive Whip?" I'm like, "No." And then one of the guys in the Telegram, Ron, the guy that I shouted about, if you need an emergency mechanic, Ron is the guy. I gotta pull up his information, but yeah, I shouted him out as emergency mechanic, and in my video where I had the flat tire. Uh, yeah, so he posted the link in the Telegram. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is what everybody's texting me about. So yeah, this is all I really know. I don't know more. Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't talk to me. So, uh, but yeah, they could be bankrupt. I don't know. I would assume, which is crazy because it seems like a lot of people were renting. Yeah, from what I understand, they had about 300 cars in the market. But when they started having all of these issues with Uber, Uber's a primary moneymaker, you know? Like, I'm just being honest. Uber coming at them directly is probably what could be the situation. But again, they didn't talk to me per se and say, hey, we got this covered. This is what we're doing. So I don't know. All I can do is just report the information. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of people are asking me about it, and I'm like, I don't know. So, it's kind of like it's one of those weird things. Like, people are asking me for answers, like, hey, what is Drivewhip doing? And it's like, Drivewhip doesn't respond to me. I can text them right now, and they'll ghost. They going to ghost. If I text them from my number, they're going to ghost me. So that's my relationship with Drivewhip. When I had that car, as long as I made my payments, they would still ghost me. Now I do not because we're moving in a different direction because of those issues. So it is what it is. But yeah, I'm not saying anything bad about them. I'm just reporting the information. Like I said, if they had a conversation with me, hey, this is what's going on, da da da, da, I will report it. But they don't. So I can't report that I know anything more than I actually do because I don't. Which is yeah, just like hurts with Uber. Yeah, it's like I said, it's just simply because they were having those. Uber came directly at them. Like, it's not even a situation where what I'm saying. Like, it affected a couple people. Everybody with a drive whip Tesla here in the South Florida market, obviously me too, had that message sent from Uber. We're Uber drivers. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna put a doubt in everybody's mind. And it not only happened once, it happened twice. You get that message twice, and this is the car company that you're renting through, whether it be Hertz, Avis, Six. It's like, hold on now. And it's not even like, yo, y'all gotta fix this. Hey, we expect for y'all to do this, that. It's not even like, it's not a passive type of situation. Like, hey, all you guys got to do is fix A through Z and then we're good. It was, you're going to be deactivated off of our platform by this date. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different message. It's not, it was no, there's a possibility of you guys figuring it out. It was, you're going to be deactivated by the 24th. Then the 24th came, they sent out the new insurance, whatever. So the 24th came and went, and nothing happened. Then, right before the 31st, it was another message. Hey, you're going to be deactivated by the 31st. No questions asked. There was no solutions given by Uber. Of course, Drivewhip said, hey, we got it fixed, yada, yada, yada. So the 31st is gone, came and gone. So, if you still have a Drivewhip vehicle, you're still on the platform. So it's just one of those things that, yeah, we're getting the information from DriveWhip if you're still renting from them, but we're not getting the information from Uber, who originally started this process. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you got a mortgage and your bank, I don't know, that's kind of like a hard situation, but like, I don't know. It's a hard analogy to really say. Like, if you go to work today, say you wasn't an Uber driver and you go to your work today, you work for Amazon, and before you get there, Amazon says, hey, you're gonna be terminated by, I don't know what's today's date. You're gonna be terminated by the 15th. Would you still go to work? It's like, but you talk to your manager like, nah, bro, you good, man. You done did XYZ, you good, you good. Would you still go to work? You gonna be like, nah, bro, listen, hey, I'm gonna be terminated. You start making other plans. And then the 15th comes and nothing happens, you still at work. All right, cool. So all right, you wipe the sweat off your brow, all right, cool. Then you get another message. Let's say a couple days later, you get another message. Hey, you know what? you're gonna be terminated by the 20th. It's like, nah, y'all serious. Y'all serious. Even though your manager might tell you something, it's like, nah, I'm gonna get terminated, so I need to make plans. So that's all I could assume. But like I said, I'm not inside. Nobody tells me anything, so I don't know. You said all in a group chat, and I'm the same area, so I figured you would know. I haven't seen Vinny on live lately. Yeah, like I said, I haven't talked to Vinny, so I don't know. I don't know. Vinny has his own issues, so when he's free, when he's healthy, I don't know. He'll get on. Uh, y'all hella promoted Drive Whip. That's how I heard. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were the biggest reasons why they were where they were. And so you would think, again, it's just my assumption, you would think that they would say, let me reach out to these guys, make sure that they good, something. Yeah, no, they never did that. He treated us well. From my perspective, they treated me like I was just a stranger. Okay, cool. Again, I never said anything publicly bad about them. I just brought the information. Never shot them down. They've never done anything else for me other than I paid my payment. I kept my car. I didn't make my payment. They shut my car off. That's it. I don't get any benefits from. Yeah. So, I tried to sign up a year and a half ago when y'all promoted, but they weren't in my market. That's wild. Yeah, they couldn't even sustain their business longer than 2 years. And like I said, it's simply because of those insurance issues. So whatever they got going on with the insurance, because they're fairly big. They had at least 300 cars. Um, they had at least 300 cars, Dom. If I'm being honest, they had at least 300 cars in our market from all estimates. Again, I don't know because they don't tell me directly. Hey, we have 300 cars in this place. We got 400 cars here. They never said that. But my assumption is they have a lot of cars in our market. A lot of cars. And I know a lot of people have personally said, "Hey, I put your information down." That's why I get text messages when it comes to Drivewhip. Yeah, I mean, I can't show you how many text messages because I don't want to put people out. But yeah, listen, I get a lot of text messages, and that's not even in my group. Just of people saying, "Hey, bro, what's going on with Drive Whip? Hey, what's happening?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Y'all know I don't know." So yeah, I would assume that it's really just because of the Uber issue, and they couldn't figure out what was going on between them and Uber. That's what I can assume. But if you don't make your Yeah, no, they don't blow your phone up. They just turn your car off. Yeah, for me, they turn the car off. I mean, like I wish it was just them calling me and hey, when you gonna make your payment? Hey, when you gonna make your payment? Eh, No, no, no. They turn the car. When I say they turn the car off, they remove my access to the car. So have you ever, like obviously it's a Tesla, so I would come to the car and I see the little thing saying I've been removed, and I come to the car, like say I go into the grocery store. You would never, it's one of those things like you just don't know when they're gonna do it. I mean, I know that I'm missing a payment, so let's say I go in the grocery store, I come back, I try to open the car door, I can't open the car door because they removed my access. That's how they did me. They locked the car, and it's just like, what the hell? What the, you know what I'm saying? You can all your stuff inside the car, and it's like, no, they won't give me back the access to open up the car until I make that payment. That's how they treated me. I don't know how they treated other people. If you saying they blow your phone up, they didn't do it for me. It was, hey, you got a payment, you late. After it gets to a certain point, we just gonna take your access. Well, damn. Like, can I at least get my stuff out of the car? Nope. Yeah, so obviously I didn't have that situation happen a lot because once it happens, it's like, yo, My stuff is still inside that car. Like, how are you gonna lock me out of my? I get that I ain't make my payment, but damn, like, can I get my stuff out of the car? Nope. And then it's through text message, so it takes forever, and yeah, that's how they did me. So again, you're saying that I promoted them and all, I helped promote them and all of that stuff, but that was the relationship between me and them. So don't really care. So let me see. But if you don't make your payment, yeah. So do you know who I am? I'm Netflix. Okay, that's what's up, Netflix. Sounds like you went and bought. Hey man, listen, stop trying to listen. You'll know on Monday. You'll know on Monday. Uh, So you say, "Yeah, I'm a very lucky guy to have my comment on the channel." All right, cool, cool. Appreciate you. Um, Uber doesn't give a F about drivers, cold game, but we been know that. Exactly. Ruining people livelihood. That's why privates and other apps are so important. Exactly. Privates and other apps are so important. But, Dom, honestly, that's why I've always promoted multi-apping. That's why on my channel, I've always said you want to have multiple apps. That's the biggest reason. Because if you're relying solely on Uber, you kind of, you're going to get into a situation. So obviously this is between them and the rental car company, but you can be deactivated, which I've been multiple times, over just a false complaint. You say, oh, but you say, I have the proof, I have the dash cam. Okay. So when you look at the deactivation messages or you look at any of their complaints against you, it's like, okay, what time did those complaints happen? They're not gonna tell you. You gotta literally sue Uber for them to give you the information that you would need to be able to prove that you didn't do something. You're assuming, oh yeah, I assumed it was the passenger from last night, or I assumed it was the passenger from this morning. I assume that happened during that conversation because it was an altercation. But I mean, obviously, you don't know because they don't tell you type of information. That there's a reason why they don't tell you that. So it is what it is. Okay, Caleb donated $100. Yeah. Jeremy says make a partial payment if you can't make a full one. Okay. If that's your relationship with Drivewhip, that wasn't my relationship. They didn't accept partial payments with me. With me. Again, I was with them for much longer than a lot of you guys, and at that time, it's not the relationship that I had with them. Yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. I am as of now, I'm no longer with them, so it is what it is. Uh damn, that's wild. After all that money made, how much were you paying weekly for that Model 3? It was $400 a week. $400 a week. Every week. So $400 times 4 weeks is 1,600. It was three something. I think it was like $300 for the car and then $99 for the commercial insurance. Yeah, that's janky. Yeah, exactly. You have 7 apps. I have like 15. And I'm still trying to add more apps to it, more apps to my situation. I'm trying to add some catering apps. I'm trying to add some more cargo apps. 'Cause it's just you don't want to be reliant on one thing. You know, these companies will throw you in the trash. So you gotta have multiple options. You always have to have multiple options. Yeah. So Dom, I was doing about 120 $120 in charging. But again, I was doing a lot of mileage. I put a lot of miles on my car. A lot of miles on my car. But again, I was renting. Um, I was renting. So I am yeah. So if I had a personal car, see, Dom wants me to tell. if I had my personal car. I still wouldn't care about the mileage because the purpose of the car is for this, but definitely when I'm renting, I really don't care about the mileage. Policy, it's not a huge problem. It's just yeah, so what's going on? If you haven't seen, well, again, I don't know if you're in the South Florida area. Here in the South Florida area, a news story came out just to kind of keep everybody up to date. I'm just talking with Dom right now, but yeah, the news story came out today, a couple hours ago, that two Teslas were stolen from Bellotto Tires. Again, if you're in the South Florida area, you rent with Drivewhip, you know that Bellotto is the company that Drivewhip uses to service their vehicles, to do maintenance if you get into an accident, to change the tires. Bellotto Tires is the company that they have like basically partnered with. So two of their Teslas were stolen from Bellotto Tires. So I'm just keeping everybody up to date on Drive Whip because obviously I was the one that helped promote them. A lot of you guys are asking me, so you know, like I'm just doing my job. I'm just here so y'all don't keep texting me. Nah, I'm kidding. Listen, I'm just trying to keep everybody up to date on what's going on with Drive Whip. So nothing as like again, we still haven't heard word from Uber in terms of the 31st deadline. Um, everybody's car is still active, so there's no word from Uber. But of course, DriveWhip. I don't know if DriveWhip has spoken to you guys, but there is no word from Uber on DriveWhip since that last email. So I don't have an update on that. If you still have a DriveWhip Tesla, you're still good. From what I understand, everybody is still good. Um, there's no update on that. I mean, you're still good. That's all I can say. But the update today is that two of their Teslas were stolen out of Bellotto tires, is what it says. But what I was just alluding to is just that there's been a lot of issues surrounding DriveWhip these last couple weeks. It's just weird, like a year ago, you had no information regarding DriveWhip, no information whatsoever. And now in the last month, they getting they getting direct shots from Uber, shots against them. Then now they got Teslas being stolen. I don't know. It's just crazy. Like when what it sounds like is when it rains, it pours. That's what it sounds like. It's happening to Drive Whip. Again, I don't speak directly with Drive Whip. I'm not affiliated with Drive Whip, although they use my face and they use my likeness to sell their cars. I did help promote them in the very beginning. Um, so I did help promote them because I was looking at it from the standpoint of last year, not this year, not right now. Last year, everybody wanted a Tesla. You wanted to drive a Tesla to do rideshare, but there were no options outside of Hertz. And everybody knows how Hertz does people. You get a Hertz car, a Hertz Tesla, they gonna hurt you. It just is what it is. They're gonna charge you and multiple charge you and all of that stuff. So I recommended DriveWhip last year because DriveWhip was the better option. With Hertz, you have the ride requirement. With Hertz, you can't do multiple apps. With DriveWhip, you could last year, but this year they're having all of these issues. So just trying to keep up, just trying to keep everybody up, up to date. This is this is on the local news. So my video I probably will drop today will have the news story. That's all I'm doing. Because again, they don't talk directly to me. As much as I've helped grow their company, as much as, like I said, I wasn't the only one. It was me and Vinny. We promoted their company. They have my videos up on their channels and stuff like that. So they don't talk directly to me. If anything, they ghost me now. So Like I said, I don't, I'm not affiliated with Drivewhip. I'm just reporting on Drivewhip because I did kind of help start their company in the sense of the South Florida market. And a lot of people still respond to me because I did make that video. A lot of people still contact me about Drivewhip. So, just keeping you updated. That's all. That's all that was going on. I'm sorry. But yeah, let me are you already in your own Model 3 now? Monday you will know. So I already told Dove, so I gotta keep consistent, man. I gotta keep consistent, Paul. Monday you will know. Monday will be the big reveal. So the mileage on the Tesla doesn't really matter. Um, how much do you spend weekly on charging? That's dumb. I was telling you I spend about $120 on charging. But again, I do a ton of miles. I do 2 to 3,000 miles every week. That's how many miles I do personally. At least when I'm really working, when I'm really making my money. When I'm doing about, yeah, I guess I can say I do a little bit over. Um, yeah, I do about 15. Yeah, about 2,000, 3,000 miles is what I do throughout all my apps. I'm asking because I drive a Model S with free unlimited supercharging for life. So I'm curious how much it costs per week. Yeah, so the charging is about $15 to $20 on average. So because you get it free, um, yeah, I would say because you get it free, you're gonna save a ton. Um, yeah, you probably won't have to worry. I mean, obviously you won't have to worry about that. So I would keep running it up. Honestly, like yeah, you get free, so run it up. But yeah, I do about 120, 150 and $150 a week in charging. Compared to what I was doing with gas, oh listen, I was doing like 100, 700. Yeah. Yeah. So I will gladly pay $150. And again, that's me doing that without charging it at my house because I live in an apartment. It's me not using the free chargers because I just pay the money. So my time is worth more than that. So those if I did the free charging, if I did the charging at my house, then obviously I wouldn't be paying $120. But I just look at it compared to what I was paying for gas. I would rather pay $120 than $500. I would rather pay $120, $150 rather than $700. You know what I'm saying? Because gas is expensive. You think about it. I was doing 40, $50 a tank out of the week. So if you're doing 50 times four, I guess that's about $200. I don't say it was a little bit more than that because it's like, yeah, it was a little bit more than that. A lot more than that, actually. I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess I was filling up every day. Yeah, I can't say every other day. My bad. I was doing a lot of miles. See, this is how far it's been since I was doing all of those miles. I mean, since I was paying all of that money. But I used to set aside $500 every week, and sometimes I would go over, sometimes I would go under. But this was previously. Obviously, I've been in the Tesla for the last 2 years, so um, I would assume that and obviously I do about the same mileage. Um, yeah, the two Teslas probably pissed off the drivers. Yeah, because like I don't know, it's just interesting. There's still a Tesla. It's the most surveillance vehicle out there. Like it's like stealing a police vehicle. Like that they have 100% tracker on you. Like there's no question that I can see. So through my app as a secondary owner, as not even as an owner, you can look at my app and tell how fast I'm going. That's me, not even as the owner. So obviously, if you're the owner, you can tell how fast your car is going. You can look through all of the cameras. Like literally, I could be, if I was, you can look through the app and look at somebody's face while they're driving. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, you look at the sidewalk. Oh, he's passing by Biscayne Boulevard. Oh, he's over here on Wynwood. Oh, he's over here on South Beach. It's the worst car to steal. Like, and obviously, if you have that connection with Tesla, you just tell them to shut the car down. So it's like the worst car to steal. The worst car. Like, yeah, low jack is pretty good, but it's like a Tesla is even worse. You don't need low jack. It's better than low jack. Cause it's just like imagine somebody stealing your car and you call the police. Hey man, listen, he's right here at the light. Yeah, he's sitting at the light. He's sitting at the light on 12th Avenue. Okay, he just made a right turn. Yeah, I'm looking at the cameras right now. He's next to the white car. Do you see him? Okay, you don't see him? All right, yeah, he got his blinker on. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna turn into that parking lot. He just turned into the like you got to play by play. You looking through the camera. Yep. You're right behind him. You're right behind him. Yep. You want me to flash the lights so you know? Yep, I can flash the lights. Yep. Do you want me to shut the car down yet? Okay, all right, cool. It's the worst car to steal. The worst car to steal. Yeah, so yep, 1 year ago, everybody wanted a Tesla. Now everybody hates them because of Elon. People are hypocrites. The product is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So trust me, I do run it up. I love the free charging. When I had a Model 3, paying for charging was still way cheaper than gas. Exactly. Yeah, I haven't put gas station. I haven't put gas in my car in 2 years. So when I said it was like, I'm trying to do the math of how I got to 500, but it's like it's been a while. It's been a while. I haven't done gas in so long. Honestly, I'm just because I've been in the Tesla since. So I started off renting through the Hertz program. Um, and that's why I know all about Hertz. I know all about Hertz. I did Hertz for like that whole first year. I got in the drive whip that August. I think it was from August to like September. I went it with them. Um, got out, got back into a Hertz for another couple months. Got out, got back into drive whip. Yeah, so I've just been renting for a while. A while, like I mean, in terms of having a Tesla. And now, I'm moving on from renting a vehicle. So, I can't tell you about gas. I can tell you what I remember. And it's hard because my memory's fuzzy in the sense of like, it's not as, like I remember I paid $50, $60. And I remember I used to have the budget for it. But I can't tell you like exactly, you know what I'm saying? Because I haven't done it in a while. Um, oh my gosh. Gas is still $5? Oh boy. Yeah. Those oil changes are a killer. Like I haven't done an oil change in 2 years. It's amazing. 'Cause when I used to do the oil changes, I used to go to a specific shop because it was the quicker one. Because if you go to like Jiffy Lube, Pep Boys, Jiffy Lube kind of sort of sometimes they could get you in and out, but most of the time you just waiting. You go to Pep Boys, you go to Firestone, you go to any one of the other major places, you'll be there all day. And it just takes forever for an oil change. Now, yeah, obviously you do the oil change yourself. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Who wants to do that? I don't want to have to get down, get under the car, and change the oil. I mean, yes, you do it to save money, and I did. I used to fix my car overall. I got to the point where I did oil changes. I would do my own tune-ups because you're just changing the spark plugs. What else did I do? I changed my own alternator. That was like one of the hardest jobs because of the angle of the engine. I did my own. Yeah, I changed my alternator. I changed my own. What else did I do? I changed my own starter. I can't say I changed my own starter. I definitely did my brakes. I used to do my brakes all the time. I did my I didn't do my rotors. I didn't do my rotors. When my rotors got bad, I would take it to the shop because the rotors are a little bit harder. You gotta pound it and all of that stuff, and I didn't want to do all of that. But I would change the brake pads. I would definitely change the brake pads all day. um, yeah, I would change the brake pads all day, and then of course I would go to the tire shop for the rotations and the alignments. But yeah, in terms of stuff, we used to do everything on my car. Um, it was major stuff that I wouldn't do. Like when my AC went out, I would take it to the shop. But like, yeah, when I needed to refresh my AC system, I almost flushed it myself. Almost. I was really close to doing it. You just gotta have I think I had a leak in my AC system, and that's what ultimately caused my AC to go out. So when I tried to do it myself, it was just like, yeah, you got that leak. So that was the only thing that I couldn't really do myself. Like when you need like those big tools for stuff, it was like, all right, bro, just go to the shop. I was cheap, man. I'll be honest. I wasn't trying to pay those prices. But in the last 2 years, I haven't had to do none of that. None of that. And I'm talking about with rental cars that I've had, I was putting mileage on them. Like, you know what I'm saying? I definitely put 80,000 miles on that car. Definitely put 80,000 miles on that car. It definitely had 160,000 miles on that car. So, it's just telling you like these cars run. They run. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So in this next phase, what you guys are gonna see on Monday, I mean, you can already guess, but just trying to keep a little bit of suspense, it's gonna be on Monday. Hopefully it should be on Monday. So if it don't happen on Monday, don't beat me up. No, I'm just kidding. It definitely is gonna happen on Monday. But yeah, in this next phase, yeah. Yeah. um so yeah, no grease. Okay. So yeah, you say how the streets? Streets are okay. It's still slow. 305 is still slow. I'm further up north, but it's still slow. It ain't great. It ain't great right now. I'm hoping that the evening time is better. It was a little tough. It was a little tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a little tough. Yeah, it was a little tough. My alternator went out and was 1,800 just for the part. I don't miss that shit. Yeah, because the alternator is in a weird spot. Like it's in a crevice in between your engine, like your engine and the little wall. So obviously they're not gonna. You gotta like take a lot of stuff out, and then it's still like a weird angle for you to get to the alternator. That's why most people charge so much for the alternator because it's just like a weird ass angle, and like you just kind of like trying to dig your hand in there, and then, like it's just weird. It's like it's not an easy, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like on top of your engine like the dipsticks or anything. Like you gotta kind of dig your hand in there, or you gotta take out all of this stuff. You gotta take out the fan. It's a lot of stuff that you taking out to get to that alternator. It almost doesn't make it worth it. So yeah, they charge you a lot of money because if they gotta do it, it's a lot of work. I say it's a lot of work. It's just a lot of stuff that you're taking out to get there. It just it's yeah. Yeah. Don't quote me on it because I gotta remember exactly the pieces that you gotta take out. Because I haven't done it in like 2 years. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff to get to that alternator. It is not like, I mean, yeah, the little pulley belt. I'm trying to think of what else. It's like in a crevice, in other words. Your alternator is in a crevice, so like for somebody to do it, they gotta get in that crevice. And the most what most people do, what most mechanics do, is because you could have the tools to kind of like dig in there, and like you gotta have the extra long tool or the weird angle tool. You could do that, but it's just hard to get to it. So what most people do is they just take the parts out so that you have more space to just reach it, pull it out, and all of that stuff. So it's more work. It's more work. Yeah. So that's why they charge you 1,800. Like I said, I did it. It wasn't fun. It was not fun. I did it myself because I was being cheap. Because I think they wanted to charge me $1,000 for it. And I was like, "Oh, it can't be that hard." That alternator took me all day. It took me all day. Now, obviously, it was my first time doing it, but I did it. But yeah, it just wasn't. The alternator is one job that I am willing to pay for. Like how I say, I'm willing to pay for the rotors because I mean, you gotta bang and if you got like in my case, I take my well, I guess this would be a little bit harder, but like if your rotors, your tire is rusted, it's work to get them rotors off. You gotta build it, and, you know what I'm saying? So I will pay for that. Yeah, I'll pay somebody else to do that because obviously they have the actual tools to do it. Here's me trying to do it without the tools. It's just tough. So that alternator is at like a weird crevice. So obviously they can pull the car up. So they're looking at it from a different angle so they're able to get to it. Me, I'm not. I'm more so just trying to dig my hand in there and like, oh, let me get to this little weird spot. It's just at a weird spot. That's all. um, that should be your side hustle. Are you talking about fixing cars? Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Nah. And you talk about fixing cars? Oh, hell no. The fixing cars is hell no. The reason why I'm saying that is because it beats up on your body. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you in weird places and you like, hell no, hell. No. Maybe if I was in a shop, I don't know. Even people, like I talk to mechanics too, and they be talking. They say the same things that I'm saying, and they got the high powered tools. I don't know, because like as a mechanic, you need a lot of tools. You need a lot of tools. You spending like 2, 3 grand on tools. And even then you still need more tools. Like it's weird. Because you need so with a car and the way that they're building cars now, oh my gosh. Because everything they want everything to be lightweight. So to make it lightweight, they compress everything. So and back in the day where they used to space things out, you used to have space between the engine, you used to have space between they don't have that space now. That space is like getting smaller and smaller. So you gotta have the weird ass tool to be able to stick you know what I'm saying? Like what it is, it's like a how can I explain it? It's like a little ratchet. It's like a weird angle ratchet that you gotta be able to get in there. And then you gotta be able to like obviously it gotta connect to the bolt and you trying to use your strength from this weird ass angle. It's just trust me when I say no. Yeah, no. Like I said, I did it when I had my personal car because I was cheap. I 100% say that I was just cheap. I ain't doing that shit. I'm cheap. It is what it is. But now that, yeah, yeah, no. Yeah, and obviously I was in much better shape. No. I won't pay a mechanic to do that stuff because, yeah, I ain't doing that. Because it's a weird ass angle. It's like weird. Like, y'all don't understand how y'all engines are made. Trust me, these are weird angles. You know what I'm saying? Like the basic stuff, yeah, I still would do, like a oil change, because it's easy. That's on the bottom. Um, the brake pads, yeah, because you just jack the car up. Okay, yeah, let me take this out. You know what I'm saying? That stuff is easy. But like when you start talking about those extracurricular, the alternator, the starter, I mean the timing belt is still kind of easy. You still, I'm trying to think of what else would go bad. The AC, if the AC ever goes bad, you gotta flush the system. Oh man, you gotta have like high powered tools. I'm sorry, I got something in my eye, but you gotta have like high powered stuff. Like you gotta have like a shop, like a vacuum to be able to pull the air out of the system. I ain't doing all that shit. Like, This is why mechanics charge what they charge because it's annoying. It's annoying. Yes, in every field you have your annoying things, and for me, it's annoying, but it's like I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I have annoying passengers, but I deal with the annoying passengers. Having annoying, fixing annoying parts. eh, You can pay me $1,000. I'm still not gonna do like like for real, dumb. If you paid me $1,800 and said, "Hey, listen, my alternator is bad. Can you fix my alternator?" It's a lot of money for that little piece. This, I think the piece is like, well, don't get me wrong. If you buy the piece is like $600, $600 if I remember correctly. So the piece is like $600. So it's realistically like $1,200 for labor. It's good money. You know what I'm saying? It's real good money. I change the oil for that 1,200. But to do the alternator, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just I'm not willing to do that. On the flip side, you tell me to take a passenger. Again, I'm just trying to use the analogy of like you tell me to take a passenger pay me $5 to go 20 miles. I don't want to do that shit. That shit is annoying. Again, I'm being honest. I'm willing to deal with $5 for 20 miles. Not willing to deal with, I don't know, $1,800 to change your alternator. I'm just not. But they did it. I start and then it just be like, yo, like that's one of those times where you just start having life moments. You just start talking to yourself like, man, why am I here? All of my life. I went through all of my life just to get to this moment. Like, you ever had those moments in your life where it's just like, bro, damn, I just can't believe I did all of this in my life to be doing this. Like, that's one of those moments. When I tell you, when I was fixing my car, that's what I was thinking. Like, yo, damn, all of these jobs, all of this money I done made just to have to do this, because it's just not for me. It's not something that I'm really like willing to do. Like, certain things align for you, certain things don't. You know, like I said, I'm willing to deal with what you pay me $5 to drive you 20 miles. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like that ain't cool. That's not a good ride. But I'll do that. It won't hurt my soul the same way it'll hurt my soul to change the alternator. I hope that makes sense. That was the analogy. Just it's certain things that you're willing to do, you're willing to put up with annoying things for. But when it comes to fixing cars, because it just yeah, listen. There was nothing about fixing cars in my mind that was like, yo, this is something you should do for the rest of your life. Even if it ain't even the rest of my life, this is something you should do for the next month. There was nothing. When I tell you nothing, nothing at all that was like, yo, do this. Mm-mm, mm-mm. But yeah. So when you turned in your Model 3, how many miles was on it? I'm curious how high the Tesla gets to. I've seen Teslas with 350,000 miles, no issues. Yeah, Dom, I told you. It got up to when I turned it, it had 160,000 miles. 160. I think it was 165,000 miles. Yeah, it was 165,000 miles. Now, when I got it, it only had 80,000 miles. So, you know, so I put like 87,000 miles on that car. And it still ran like a champ. It had no issues whatsoever. Yeah. No issues whatsoever. Um, uh, yeah, hey, Raspberry. So, yeah, people are telling me quit Uber because I can get killed. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of obvious. Yeah, you can get killed. I mean, yeah, you're driving on the road, so yeah, you can get into a major accident. You can obviously die that way. You can, we don't know who we're picking up. So there, there's stories, and maybe I'll start posting those types of stories on, I don't know. I try not to be super negative on my channel, but like there's stories about how, people have gotten in the car and they've robbed Uber drivers, they killed Uber drivers, all of that stuff. So there is an inherent danger to what we do as Uber drivers because obviously we don't know who's in that back seat. Um, I mean, for me, I look at it as there's an inherent danger in general. So even though I used to work at Amazon, I don't know my coworkers. And you start talking trash. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, we overall we're in the transportation industry. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're a bus driver, if you're a UPS driver, you're a FedEx driver, you know what I'm saying? Like it's transportation. Truck driver, there's that inherent risk of being killed. Somebody. But I could say the same thing of driving a nice car. If you drive a nice car, there's that risk. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna want to take your car. Um, it could happen. You know what I'm saying? I could say being in a nice neighborhood is there's that inherent risk of people are looking at you like you got money, wearing nice clothes. You get what I'm saying? Like you can absolutely I don't want to be facetious and say like you can't die. Yes, people die all the time as Uber drivers. They get robbed, they get stabbed, they get murdered, they get raped. There's a lot of stories of women being raped late at night by their passengers and stuff like that. There's the stories of Uber drivers being rapists and they're raping their passengers and killing their passengers. So I don't want to make light of that, but I am also saying that it's just I look at things like if it's your time to go, it's your time to go. Obviously, I'm not saying just be out here like follow law, like pay attention to your surroundings. The same way that if you're driving late at night, you get nervous, when you at a red light and it's like, oh, I see this guy right next to me. Oh, I see this guy right next to me. He had his on a hood. Hmm. I think he's inviting me over for dinner. You know, you obviously have to have some type of street smarts, and it says some type of common sense. You pay attention to your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the best thing that I could tell you. Pay attention to your surroundings. If you have any, for me, if I have any inkling of nervousness with a person when I'm going to pick them up, cancel the trip. It might be a premiere. I don't get a lot of premieres, but it might be $100 premiere. But if I pull up and I'm nervous about the person that's getting in my car, nervous in the sense of maybe they're like slouching over and they're woozy and they're kind of like walking to the car, but they can't stand up straight. Nervous, like okay, they look like they're dangerous. They have on a hood. I don't know. Like, for any reason, I cancel the ride because for me, it's my life is worth more than that. If I'm gonna die, I want to die. Again, obviously, we don't know how we're gonna die. I can die from a heart attack. I can die from a stroke. You know what I'm saying? I can die from a lightning bolt. But I hope what I'm saying makes sense. I look at it as if I'm going to die, I want to die at least with a bang. You know what I'm saying? So if I get the inkling that you may be a dangerous customer, I cancel and I move on. Now if they start shooting at me and all of that stuff, and I die. Okay, I died. You know, that I know that that took a complete left, but the point was just pay attention to your surroundings. That was the point. Pay attention to your surroundings as a driver. That is the best advice that I can give you. Pay attention to your surroundings in general. Like, if you ever watch my videos, if you ever watch my live streams, I'm constantly looking around. Am I in a parking lot? Yes. I'm not doing nothing special. I'm sitting in a parking lot. This is just a parking lot. You know, this is a parking lot, but I'm still watching. Just because it's during the day, you can look at my eyes. I'm watching every single car that passed by. I'm looking in my rearview mirror. I'm looking behind me. I'm looking at people standing next to me. I'm looking at people passing by me. Because obviously, when you're in public, you have that inherent danger. And when people come walk into my car, I don't park. My personal way of doing it, I don't park on their house. I park either before their house or I park after their house because I want to see them walk to my car. You're not just gonna walk to my car and just jump in. No, 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 no. For me, that's the way that I stay safe. For me, I'm going to park where you're gonna have to walk. I'm gonna be able to gauge if I want to let you in my car. You're not just gonna sneak up on me. So for me, I leave my windows down when I'm picking up people. I want to hear the environment. I'm not one of those drivers where I'm jamming, picking up people. My music is real low when I'm picking up people. I want to hear you come outside of your house. Because if you getting into an argument with whoever and you come into my car, I'm like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. That's your problem. If you come out running, I'm driving. I'm sorry. I've had people do that all the time. Hey, hey. You see them in the review like, hey, I'm gone. I'm not gonna turn around. Sorry. That's all I can give you in terms of advice. But yes, to be serious, yes, you again, you can. This is there's that risk. There is a risk because you don't know who's in your back seat. I have certain things in my car that if that's the situation, I'm going out with a bang. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do whatever it is for you to feel safe. But again, you don't know who's in your back seat. When I did deliveries, you don't know who's gonna come to that door if it's a handed to me delivery. You don't know what area you're in. A lot of times, I mean, some areas. People do target Uber drivers. That is why, for me personally, I don't have the insignia around my car. I have a shirt that says I'm an Uber driver because I don't want to get targeted. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people, but again, like I said, there is that inherent danger. But, I've been doing this for years, still alive. I would hope the same is for all of you guys. Yeah, if it's your day to go, it's just your day to go. If it's not, then I'm gonna try to be vigilant. That's all I can say. But yeah, people are gonna tell you that you could die because you can. It's just like you could die on your way to going to, you could be working at the bank and somebody decided to carjack you for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Or you could be on your way to work and somebody has a shootout and unfortunately your car is there. There's a lot of when you really want to, if you really want to go down that rabbit hole of the ways that you could die, yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate to say it like that, but yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can pass away. Um, so for me, I just look at it as this is the career field that I'm in, so I'm going to try to pay attention to my surrounding, and then enjoy it while I can. Yeah, you got to be alert in life, yes, sir. Um, yep, you can get killed, but it depends on your market. Also, you can get killed just going to the store. You can't live your life scared. Exactly. Um, no, I mean, like there's stories about Chicago, there's stories about California. There are certain places where you just common sense know those things are more likely to happen. Like I'm more likely to get carjacked based on the stories that I've heard about Chicago in certain areas. It's just a like if you live in Chicago, damn, I shouldn't go down this area. You know what I'm saying? Like this is common. That's more so common sense. That's more so like, okay, it's happening. Should I go down that road? No. Should I pick up people in that road? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, should I go down there late at night and flash that I'm an Uber driver? No. You know what I'm saying? Like that's more so like, again, I'm not saying that that's the only place that stuff happens, but I'm in that sense, yes, there are certain things that you kind of can assume. I got a big chain on and I go in the wrong neighborhood and I'm like, yo, hey, what's good, bro? Hey man, I don't like none of y'all. Like, of course I'm gonna get something's gonna happen to me. You know what I'm saying? But you you try to avoid you try to avoid those situations, in other words. That's the best advice that I can give you in terms of your life. There's common sense things that if I do this, this probably is gonna happen. Try to avoid those things. So for me, I try not to have the insignia around my car. Because do Uber drivers get targeted? Yes. For me, I try to live a peaceful life. So other than these live streams, other than the videos you don't see me talking trash to people. So I don't have nobody doing road rage and just shoot up the car. You know what I'm saying? Like I try not to go in certain areas. There are certain neighborhoods here in Florida. Again, South Florida isn't as bad as, again, I don't know because I've never been to Chicago, I've never been to California. But from what the news makes it seem like, there's certain neighborhoods in Chicago that just have a lot more activity than we do down here. I still don't go into those bad neighborhoods, especially late at night. That's just, again, the way to be safe is to try to avoid the situation entirely. And like I said, if it's a passenger that looks crazy, that looks like they're about that life, I'm sorry. Yeah, whenever people are about to back into my car, it's like my attention is completely on them because, yeah, I don't trust you driving. But yeah, like I could have died there. I mean, that's a little bit. That's a little reach. But whatever. All right, so let's move on. um, yeah, keep them tight, no Diddy. Do we have to place our stickers on our cars? Um, it depends on your state. That's all I can tell you. It depends on your state. Um, yeah, it depends on your state. I can't. y- y- Um, again, like I said, what you do is what you do. What I do is what I do. You make those choices. Um, that's all I can say. I can't tell you legally. I can't give you that type of advice. The law. Um, I will tell you if you in your state, you're required to have those stickers. Then you got to know that you're required to have those stickers. But if I'm in a state and I'm required to have those stickers, maybe just take that L. You know what I'm saying? That's the choice that you're making. Just like a lot of people, Uber doesn't want Uber. It is against Uber's terms of service to have, to have a gun in your car. People still have guns. You make the decisions for yourself. I can't tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do that because obviously I'm on a live stream and that can come back on me. I can't do that. All I can tell you is you got to know the rules of your state. So I don't know what state you're in. You just got to make those decisions for yourself, for you to be safe. Because at the end of the day, I look at it like this: if it's gonna be me or you, it's the situation where it's like that, then I'm trying to come home. That's it. So whatever I got to do in that moment, that's what I'm gonna do. You know, yeah, that's how I look at it. If I had that moment, no. almost had it. And I did a video on it where I had a guy basically trying to tell me to sell my car. It was that moment because he sounded like he was trying to, he definitely sounded like it. But I mean, ultimately, I realized it wasn't that moment, but I thought it was gonna be. The way he was sounding at first, like, man, you better sell your car. Who gonna do what? I was ready. Like I said, again, you make your choices in your life. Obviously, know the rules of your state. But yeah, I also would do driving in Chicago, Detroit, certain cities. Exactly. Yeah, no, it's just if I've never been there, never. I don't know. I don't know what is and what ain't. But from the news stories, I'm not gonna find out. Now, if I do ever happen to go in that area and people from the area like, nah, bro, it's not like that, and just do this, that, and the third. Still probably wouldn't, but I would just have it in the back of my mind. Because it's like here, like we have areas that people outside of here would be like, oh my gosh, that's a bad area. But it's like when you go in the area, it ain't that bad. Like, it ain't that bad. But, again, that's me being a local from here as opposed to me being a tourist from here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what to do in those areas while a tourist may not know. No. But regardless, you make those decisions for yourself. So even though a local could tell me, hey, it's not that bad, I'll go find out. Everything that I get from that area, I will happily ride on by. Happily decline. Because obviously, remember, and this is the last, we done kind of went long on this topic, but you gotta always remember, you can't be deactivated for your acceptance rate. So I'm not gonna be deactivated because I declined the ride. I will be deactivated because I accepted the ride and then canceled the ride. Even though it could have been for safety issues, you can be deactivated if you accept the ride and then you cancel the ride. So you got to use it to your advantage. You know what I'm saying? So if you see a ping in the wrong area, it seems a little iffy. Decline. Decline. Or that person starts coming to the car and he look a little, decline. um, there, but you got to keep yourself safe. In other words, whatever it is for you that helps you keep yourself safe. So for me, I don't let people sit in the front seat unless I absolutely have to. That's what I do because I want to be able to reach. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to reach, and I want to try to defend myself if something should happen like that. Has it ever happened like that? No. But could it? Yes. So that's how I try to keep myself safe. Because you can hit me in the back of my head, but if you on the side of me, that's a completely different like conversation. Back of my head, I can kind of block. I can get out of the car, press the button, jump out the car. Try to do this right here. But when you on the side of me, ain't no getting out the car. We gotta go toe to toe. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it just you right there. You know, that's what I do. Yeah, yes, Uber does have the policy that is four riders. Four riders can fit in my car, and I have taken four riders. But I judge those four riders. If those four riders don't pose a threat, and I feel like letting that person up front, then I'll take the ride. But if those four riders, hey, listen, if those four riders got a ski mask on, I'm gonna cancel the ride and move on. Yeah, that's just using that as an example. Yeah. So you gotta do what's best for you. I can't tell you what to do. I can just give you examples. That's all I can do. But I legally can't tell you what to do and what not to do. Obviously, this is a live stream. a big YouTuber, but it's just the point. It's a live stream. We on the internet. And plus, I don't know what state you in, so I can't say what to do and what not to do anyway. But yeah, so yeah, I just kind of came on here to tell you guys about what I seen in the news. Like I said, I'll play the clip in my video tonight regarding Drive Whip. So yeah, just to kind of end it off, just to recap what I seen with Drive Whip. Again, I was one of the people that helped promote Drive Whip. So always want to keep you guys updated because I get a lot of text messages and calls and messages. You guys leave comments and stuff on Drive Whip, so I'm just trying to keep you updated. This isn't like super crazy news. You know, in the last couple weeks, we know that Drive Whip, we've had two different emails notifications from Uber attacking Drive Whip. The first one said that they were going to deactivate all cars on from Drive Whip on the 24th. 24th came and went. Everything was all good. Drive Whip sent out a new insurance, blah, 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 blah. Everybody was good. Then, maybe like the 25th, 20, I don't know, 26th, 27th, we got another email from Uber saying, hey, you got until the 31st to make sure that your cars are good. No, you got until the 31st to from Drive will be deactivated. Again, the 31st came and went. Everybody that has a Drivewhip vehicle is still activated on the platform. That was the last message that we got from Uber. We have not gotten any updates. Uber has not said anything, so it is what it is. As of right now, we good. If you got a Drivewhip vehicle, you're good. That is the last of the information that I know from Drivewhip because Drivewhip doesn't talk to me. As one of the people that help promote their company, and as they use a lot of my face on their marketing stuff, if you go on their profiles and stuff, they use a lot of my information. They do not speak directly with me. My relationship with Drive Whip, when I had their car, was make my payment one time, or we remove access from your car until you make this payment. That was my relationship with Drive Whip. They did not tell me what markets they were in. They didn't tell me what markets they were planning on going to. They don't even respond to my text messages. So I don't know. They don't like me, apparently. But they know all about me. So but yeah, that was my relationship with DriveWhip. So I'm not an affiliate with DriveWhip. A lot of you guys have used my referral code or whatever, but they didn't pay me anything for that referral. So it is what it is. But a lot. That was the information that I know about that. And today, if you are in the South Florida area, you seen Channel 7 News, there was a news story that came out saying that two Teslas were stolen from Bellotto Tires. Again, if you are in the South Florida area, Bellotto Tires is a garage that DriveWhip utilizes to service their vehicles. You have a DriveWhip Tesla, you know that this that Bellotto Tires is who they send you to get new tires. Or if you have anything wrong, they send you to Bellotto. They have a contract with DriveWhip. So yeah, the news story said that two of DriveWhip's Teslas were stolen from Bellotto Tires. The crazy thing is, as anybody that has driven a Tesla, as all of the Tesla people that know, Teslas are one of the hardest vehicles to steal. The hardest vehicles because they're completely surveillance vehicles. You got cameras all around it. The app tells you exactly where people are. Like you can look at my app and know how fast I'm going. Y'all know the funny thing. When I used to let people hold my phone, um, and they would log into my account, like I used to have people change my radio station from, what you got playing on my radio? So that's how surveillance vehicle the Tesla is. So for them to steal Blotto tires? I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, it's just I'm just bringing you guys the updates. That is what's happening. That's what's happening. You can check Channel 7 News. Tonight's video will have the actual, I don't know if it's gonna be the video clip or it'll be the article. I don't know. I forget which one it was. Because I've been on this live stream for an hour. But yeah, it'll have the actual video clip or the article. But yeah, that's Drivewhip. So what it seems like is when it rains, it pours on Drivewhip. Because a year ago, when I first, no, I wasn't the only person that promoted them, but I'm just the person that they ghost. They don't like me. Vinny was the other guy that helped promote them. He said that he was gonna have them on the podcast and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know what they got going on. That ain't my deal. I don't know. For me, my part, they don't talk to me. But, you know, a year ago, when everybody wanted Teslas, Drivewhip was the best company out there because nobody, and to this day, nobody else is really renting Teslas for Uber drivers because of the mileage. Nobody wants, none of these rental car places want to put mileage on their cars like that. And they also don't want to pay the commercial insurance. Been trying to find a rental car company outside of Drivewhip because it just seems a year ago they had no problems. The biggest issue was their customer support. I've told you guys this over and over. Because they are located in Maryland, everything was through text message. And it's annoying. They take their time about getting back to you. They take their time about updating your insurance. They take their time about doing the registration. They just take their time for everything. And it's like, we're paying you. I'm paying you as a rental car company, and you want to take your time. So yeah, the customer service up. So I've been looking for a rental car company local that I can just go to and actually see somebody and talk to somebody. But the issue is always that commercial insurance issue. Commercial insurance for rideshare is super expensive, and a lot of these rental car companies just don't want to do that. Unfortunately, they don't want to pay for the commercial insurance. So it is unfortunate. So, you know, like I said, I'm just giving you guys the updates on Drivewhip because these last couple months, it's been a lot of little issues. Well, I mean, they've been getting hit these last couple weeks. So it seems like overall, when it rains, it pours. So you do with that information what you do with that information. Um, okay, let me see. I just gotta know, yep, where am I located? South Florida. Um, got it. Yo, what's good? JW, what's up, JW? Hey, bro, for example, in Fort Lauderdale, you can work a lot with Uber. Absolutely, you can work a lot with Uber. I don't know what your question is. From Italy with love. Hey, thank you for tuning in all the way from Italy. Yeah. So you say hi. What's up? I don't want to mispronounce your name, bro. Gustavi? Yeah, I don't mean to mispronounce your name. There's the man, the myth, the legend. So that is Ron. So guys, oh man, I gotta recap this again. Come on, bro. So listen, no. That is Ron. Ron right there, Ron P. That is the guy. That is the man, the myth, the legend. If you watch my video, I did a couple days last week. That is Ron right there. He is in the chat, so he's blessed us. Ron is the guy that helped me when I had that foot. So again, if you don't know about Ron, I don't think you can put your information in the chat, but in the video tonight, I will re-put his information out there. But that is the guy right there. That's him. That's him. The emergency roadside technician. He kind of specializes with Teslas, but he can help you out if you don't. But that is the guy that helped me. So I had a flat tire. He helped me get to the tire shop. But he specializes with Teslas. So if you are one of those people that don't pay attention to your charge and you run out of charge in your Tesla, Ron is the guy that you need to talk to because AAA does not. I mean, all the AAA does is they just tow you to a, they all they're gonna do is tow you on a flatbed to a Tesla charger and cross our fingers and hope that you can charge your car. Ron actually knows what he's doing, though. Ron actually knows what he's doing. So, if you catch the video tonight, I will have his information. I would tell him to post it, but I think Nightbot or whatever, YouTube doesn't like numbers and stuff, so I'm not gonna tell him to do it now. But Ron is the man. Ron is the man. Check the video out tonight. It'll just be a recap of all of this because we've been on a live stream for like an hour and a half now. So it'll be a recap, a little smaller recap, and it'll have the article, but it'll also have Ron's information. If you're in the South Florida area, Ron is definitely a guy that you want to have in your contacts just in case you have an emergency. And especially if you have a Tesla or another EV vehicle, he's the guy because he can, if you run out of charge, that's it. That's it. He can help you get back on because he has an emergency generator. So he can charge you up, you know, right there in the middle of the road. AAA does not have that. So Ron is the guy that you need to talk to. AAA does not have that. Progressive does not have that. These rental car companies, I mean, not these rental car, these tow truck companies do not have that. Ron does. So yeah, shout out to Ron. But yeah, Evan, again, it's nothing major. It's just two of Drivewhip's Teslas were stolen from Bellotto. So if you know about Bellotto, if you're in the South Florida area, two of their cars were stolen from Bellotto, which is crazy because it's a Tesla. It's a Tesla. It's still a Tesla. How do you steal a Tesla? You ever notice that you have lately, even though nobody wants to drive a Tesla, lately Teslas have been vandalized. They've been breaking Teslas. They've been throwing things at Teslas, riding on Teslas, but you don't hear people stealing Teslas. You know why? Because it's the hardest vehicle to steal. It's a surveillance vehicle. You got cameras all over the vehicle. You got to be dumb to steal a Tesla. If you could, that's like you know how they say like, bro, you got to be an idiot to steal a Tesla. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the worst vehicle to steal. It's like stealing a police car. Like you got the big police sign on the left side of your door. It's dumb. How far do you think you gonna get with that big police sign on the side of your door? Like it's just, but whatever. Two of their vehicles got stolen, so it just looks like when it rains, it pours for dry work right now. So it's just something that you got to be aware of. Something that you got to be aware of because you don't hear this with Hertz, you don't hear this with Six, you don't hear this with Enterprise. Ain't nobody stealing their vehicles, and they got some nice vehicles, but they still in drive with Teslas. Mm. Drive with Teslas. Yeah. So, um, okay. So, yeah. So he says Florida mobile EV charging on social media. So again, just to re-shout him out, I'm talking about Ron, the man, the myth, the legend. If you have an emergency situation, please contact Ron, Florida Mobile EV Charging on all social media platforms. All you gotta do is search for it. Trust me, if you in a situation where you run out of charge, you're gonna want to talk to him and not AAA. Because all they gonna do is tow you to a charging station. The problem is if you run out of charge, your car won't charge because there's a little battery in front and you gotta have the right tools to work it. Yeah, they don't they don't AAA don't do that. They don't know about all of that stuff. So you want to talk to a guy that actually knows what he's doing. He does this, he services a ton of cars. So that is again Florida mobile EV charging on all social media platforms. So yeah, he is emergency roadside mechanic, certified. He got me out of my jam when I had a flat tire. So emergency roadside mechanic. That means he knows how to get you off the side of the road. He is only for South Florida. That's what he said. He said it, not me. Y'all see him in the comments. I'm sorry. He said it. He said South Florida only. He ain't doing nowhere else. South Florida only. Let's see. So Flame, what car am I in? I'm in a Tesla. That's why you see the roof. Well, you kind of, well, you can't really tell. This is glass, and then this is glass. But yeah, this is the Tesla. Um, my interior looks luxurious. It's just a Tesla. It's just a Tesla interior. I wanted to know if you can earn good money, around $300, $400 a day, just to know. Giuseppe, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Yeah, Giuseppe, you absolutely can. You got to work. You got to put in the time. It's gonna take a lot of hours, but yes, you can. You absolutely can. Right now, remember, if you're in the South Florida area, our slow season is coming upon us. So if you're gonna do it, this is the time to do it. Like this week, because you only have a couple weeks. I'm just gonna tell you that you can still make money during the summer, during the off season. It's just gonna be tougher. Gonna take longer, and that's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, so Trish says she's from Chicago. So yeah, we was talking about Chicago earlier, saying that there's certain areas from the news that we say that common sense would tell you not to go and pick up from. Again, I can't say what areas those are and what areas those aren't. But according to the news, there are certain areas that you don't want to go to. You know what I'm saying? That it would be more likely to have a dangerous event happen to you. We were talking about safety earlier. The statement was made that the question was asked, can you die from people have been telling, Uber drivers that you can die. This is a dangerous job. It is a dangerous job uh, if you don't pay attention to your surroundings, was what the statement that I was making. I mean, still a dangerous job, yes, because you don't know the people in your back seat. But man, the only thing that I can tell you in terms of safety is pay attention to your surroundings. By surroundings, I mean the people that you're picking up, the places that you're picking up. If you watch my eyes in a lot of my videos, even though I'm trying to talk to the camera, I'm still watching the cars passing by me. And it's what 7:33 in my market. So this is during the day. I'm still paying attention to the people next to me. I'm still looking at the people next to me. You watch my eyes, you see me like watching these cars go by. If somebody like starts to almost hit my car, you see me like stop and I'm focused on them because you gotta pay attention to your surroundings. So when we were talking about Chicago, I was just using Chicago as an example. According to the media, there are certain places in Chicago that you wouldn't want to pick up from because it's more likely that you would have a bad situation. And I was just using that as an example of saying that obviously I'm not a local, so I don't know those places. But I can say the same thing. Well, Chicago, from what the media says, Chicago is a little bit different from down here. But there's bad places everywhere. So I was just using Chicago as like everybody knows that there's bad places there. But there's bad places here. But as a local, it ain't that bad. It ain't really that bad. It is bad, but it ain't Chicago bad. Again, from the news, from the news. So Trish, I'm sorry. From the news, there's a place in Chicago that we don't touch. We ain't that bad. So I was saying, like, if you want to be safe, you got to know the areas that you're picking up in. You got to use your common sense skills. Pay attention to your surroundings. So Obviously, if you know that there's an area where it's higher likelihood that something can happen, don't pick up. You can cancel the ride for any given reason. Your life is way more valuable. Again, I used an example of $100 premiere. My life is more valuable than $100 premiere. I will cancel the ride. Personally, I'm going to cancel the ride. I'm sorry. If I feel anything in my intuition, you know how y'all say the intuition. Any reason that I feel like I need to move, I'm moving. We'll get another ride. That's how I look at it. No, but like I said, I've been doing this for 5 years. I picked up in bad areas. I don't park on the exact pin. If your house is right here, I don't park on your house. I park right here. I want you to come out and walk to me because I want to judge you. I want to assess the person getting in my car. Personally, that is the way that I try to stay safe. Everybody has their ways that they try to stay safe. For me, I want to assess the person walking to my car. I'm looking at you up and down. Okay, do they look like they're gonna cause me any harm? I don't see a threat. My doors will unlock. If I see a threat, I feel any threat. My doors do not unlock, and I drive away. That is the way that I stay safe. Everybody has their own ways to stay safe, but overall, pay attention to your surroundings. That's what we were talking about earlier. That's why she's saying that she's from Chicago. He says that I look like I'm from Taliban. Okay. Uh, I mean, okay. That's kind of crazy to say. I wanted to know if yeah, so I answered that. So again, Florida Mobile EV is for Ron. Um, yeah, so Florida Mobile EV is for Ron. The emergency roadside mechanic. Yeah, that's what I said. Again, if you watch the video tonight, I actually have his business card so you can reach out to him directly. But it's Florida Mobile EV on all social media platforms. If you are in South Florida, he is the go-to guy because the tow trucks do not know how to service a Tesla if you run out of charge. They don't, unfortunately. They don't do nothing for you. They're just going to tow you to a charging station. And we gonna cross our fingers that your car will charge. But if you run out of charge, there's more steps to it. And Ron knows the steps. Ron actually has the tools for the steps. So again, check out Ron. Check out Ron. Um, yeah. Giuseppe, bro, I appreciate your efforts. How you said my name. Thanks for the information. Oh, of course, yeah. What do I think about Uber Cash? I personally will not. I personally will not be doing Uber Cash rides. Personally, I'm not doing it because yeah, not doing it because that's not what I signed up for. If I'm gonna do a cash ride, then it ain't gonna be a cash ride where Uber is still gonna take their cut. You get what I'm saying? Like, nah. If I'm doing a cash ride, I'm doing a cash ride without Uber, not with Uber. Nah. Because the cash ride, the way the ride works is okay, they give you cash and then they expect you to give them the change. So let's say the ride was, I don't know, $30, but they give you $40. They expect you as a driver to have the $10 to give them back. Now you keep the $30. Yay! Yeah, yeah, you got $30. You make more money. No. Now on your back end, where you would normally go to cash out, you're gonna see negative whatever Uber's fees is. Negative, I don't know, $12, negative $15. So yeah, you got the $30 in cash, but now your account with Uber is negative. How does that make sense? So you lost. Okay, yeah, you now Uber's hitting your back office. I don't want to go negative in my back office. I would rather Uber take out their money up front. And what I see in my bank account with Uber is what I see when I go to cash out. When you go to cash out, The only thing I pay is that little $1.25 fee. That's all I want to be negative. 25, not negative whatever Uber's fees is. So no, I will not be doing Uber Cash. And then obviously, you carrying more cash is another red flag. So if somebody robs me right now, okay, you rob me. All right, cool. What are you gonna get? You can get my phone. All right, cool. That's all right. That's nice. You get my watch. My watch is an older watch. I mean, this is actually the first. This watch is actually the first. First Apple Watch. That's it. I don't have nothing else valuable in the car. I mean, I got headphones. I guess, yeah. So you get headphones, and I intentionally leave earwax in them, so you clean them. All right, cool, cool. These are the second generation, first generation. These are yeah. So these aren't brand new headphones. But all right, cool. You got three things from me. You didn't get my actual hard on cash. It was more of a waste of time. I mean, I guess you got a phone, but yeah, whatever. I got insurance on that. So that's okay. Yeah, I'm not worried about the phone, you know. That's why we have insurance. But overall, you didn't get none of the money, you know, and I'm a obviously do the iCloud thing, whatever. I'm gonna file a claim. And it is what it is, you know. That's between you and whoever else you sell the phone to. Okay. But what I do care about is my hard earned money. I'm not carrying cash. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But now you rob me and all I do is Uber Cash. You done came up. That ain't a good thing. Because now I'm stuck. Because it's cash. You still cash from me. I have no way to get that back. There is no, there's no paper trail. It's just I'm stuck. Thanks. You robbed me. Thanks. You know what I'm saying? Because it's cash. But you robbed me and you steal my debit card. Okay, well, they got you on camera wherever you spend that purchase at, or they got your information, they got your IP address, they got something. I don't care. I hit fraud. You get my money back. Again, that's between you and the bank. I'm gonna hit fraud and I'm gonna reverse that transaction. With cash, you can't reverse the transaction. So for me, I'm not doing Uber Cash. Personally, I ain't doing Uber Cash. Because it just doesn't make sense to me. There's no benefit of me doing Uber Cash over a regular ride because Uber is still going to take the same amount that they were going to take before. But now you're giving me the requirement of having to handle that cash and give this person back cash back. Give this person back their change. Because y'all know they going to want their change. Oh, I only got 100. What happens when they try to stiff you? Because we know people are going to do that. What happens when they try to stiff you? Oh, do you got change for 100? Nah, bro. Oh, well, yeah. All I got is 100. Hey, well, give me the 100. No, but the ride is only $20. Oh, okay. Well, uh, uh, that ain't, you already know they gonna try to stiff you. I'm not doing Uber Cash. I'm sorry, I'm not doing Uber Cash. That does not sound like a smart idea to me. There is no benefit for me to do Uber Cash. With the way that passengers, we already know that passengers try to stiff us. I've gotten deactivated over false reports way more than most people. I get it. Now it ain't even I'm gonna get deactivated. I'm gonna get robbed. This is gonna rob me blind. Oh, I don't even have no cash on me. Um, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's nah, bro. Because now I'm gonna try to take that transaction so I get my money, but then I'm negative on my account with Uber. So any ride that I do that's not Uber Cash, I'm gonna hit that balance. Nah, nah. I want Like it is Uber's way of trying to say, "Hey, we'll give you the cash. We'll tell you how much they paid, but there's no real benefit for you as a driver. Well, you guys want to do cash rides? Oh, you want to do cash rides? Oh, we'll let you do cash rides. We'll do cash rides. Come on, we can do cash rides, but they're still going to charge you their same fees. So, what benefit is it that you did a cash ride through Uber? Is what I'm saying. Through Uber is what I'm saying. There's no benefit as a driver. You taking on more risk because you're having cash in your car. That customer also knows that you have cash in your car. Again, like, see, right now, all customers know that we don't really carry cash on us. I mean, again, that's, most customers kind of know that we don't carry cash. We're not the taxi cabs. This is one of those safety issues that we talk about. Safety cabs used to get robbed all the time because they knew that safety. When I say safety cabs, taxi cabs. I'm sorry, taxi cabs used to get robbed all the time, especially late at night. You would call a taxi cab to a area, a lower impoverished area. The taxi cab would show up, and they would rob the taxi cab because they knew that the taxi cab had ding 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 ding. That was the perception. We all know that taxi cabs have cash because they do cash rides. For Uber drivers, everybody knows Uber doesn't do cash. So now you're starting to give us as drivers that perception from the taxi cabs. Guess what's going to go up? Guess what's going to go up? You're an Uber driver with the little Uber sign in your little thing. Guess who they're going to target now? Because you do cash rides. Don't do cash rides. They're gonna target me. I'm gonna get out the car. Hey, listen, take it. Obviously, it's not my car. You know what I'm saying? When I was ready, you walk away. And you walk the car. Have fun. Walking away because ain't nothing valuable in here. Hey, cool. Hey, you got it. Okay, that's between you and you and the rental car company. Like you take it. Do what you got to do. But it's different when you got cash because all of that cash that you just got. Now they're gonna take and they come up. There's no paper trail. I mean, I guess, there's no way that you're getting that money back. No way whatsoever. No way whatsoever. And guess who got their money? Uber still got their money off of you, but you didn't get your money off. Nah, bro. There's no like, Uber's gonna get paid regardless in that situation. You don't get paid. You now have to deal in the other aspect is you now have to deal with that customer. The biggest reason why I'm an Uber driver and I don't do private is because Uber handles that transaction. They know that every ride that I take, I'm getting paid the money that I'm supposed to be paid, minus a couple dollars. Minus a couple dollars because Uber plays games, whatever. But I know that I'm getting the money. So that ride says it's $10 when I accept it. I know I'm gonna get like at least $9, $8. I think cool. I know I'm getting the money, is what I'm saying. I don't have to worry about, well, damn, did she pay? Did she not pay? Oh shit. Did the transaction go through? Let me just make sure. Did she put the right information? I don't care. It's between her and Uber. Uber's gonna get their money, but I need money. I need my money immediately. Does that make sense? That's the way that I look at Uber Cash. Uber Cash, you already know what these customers are gonna do. Because if you've been doing Uber, you know how your customers are. If you do X ride, you know how your customers are. If you do the top tiers, the premier rides, you know how your customers are. They want a discount. So guess what? They're gonna do an Uber cash ride. No damn well that the ride is gonna say it's gonna cost them $47, and they're not gonna have $47. They're gonna have $40. Guess who gets stiffed in that situation? You do. You get still $7 because they don't have the $7. What do you do in that moment? Can anybody tell me? Because you chose an Uber cash ride. I'm not doing an Uber cash ride. If I'm gonna do a cash ride, I'm doing a cash ride from a private ride situation. And for me, unless you're a client of mine that's been a client for a while, need that money up front. Before this car moves, I need my money. Listen, if I do private, if I'm doing a private ride, I need my money up front. I need to have my money in my hand, or I need my money in my bank account. Now, my money in my bank account, I'm taking you wherever you need to go. We agreed on it. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like it just because that, but a cash ride, Uber is gonna get paid regardless. So even though you got gypped in that example, the ride was $47.50. Of course, they don't have the 50 cents, and of course, they don't have the $7. They give you two 20s, and they walk out the car. Guess what you got to do? Hey, excuse me. Hey, yo, you got to get out the car. You got to go chase them. Hey, listen, it was actually $47.50. I need my money. Are you gonna let the 50 cents go? If they only got $47, are you gonna let the 50 cents go? Can anybody tell me? Or what if it was 63 cents? What if it was 23 cents? You gonna let the 23 cents go? These are the questions that I want to ask anybody that does Uber care. You gonna let that 63 cents go? No, it's just 63 cents, but every ride is 23, 63, 57, 82. You gonna let all that change go? You losing out on all that change? Is that what you telling me? Because you just know they're not gonna have exact change. Me and you both already know. They don't have exact change. Ain't nobody gonna give you exact change. So even in just that sense, but guess who's gonna make sure that they charge you their fees? Uber is absolutely gonna charge you, the driver, their fees. So in your back office, oh, better believe they're gonna be charging you those fees. Whatever they charge for insurance or whatever they charge for whatever miscellaneous fees that they charge, they're definitely gonna keep charging those. So you know what I'm saying? So guess who loses out in that situation? You do. So what benefit is there to do Uber Cash? There's no benefit for the driver. The benefit is that Uber doesn't have to deal with that transaction. They actually save money because they don't have to deal with that transaction. Um, yeah. So, okay. So, welcome back. Yeah. See, I'm still talking. I'm sitting here wondering if I need to get a driver. Get a driver does not carry cash sticker. I mean, listen, bro. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if that's the. I would say it's one of those things. Like if you doing at night, people still. Um, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I mean, I know that the sticker would say that you don't carry cash, but it's just the perception. If that's the perception that we start having that Uber drivers have cash on hand, um, that's a tough one, bro. That's a tough one. And then obviously that passenger knows that you got cash. Like, we just talked about passengers robbing people. You don't think that there's gonna be passengers like, hey, listen, let me do a cash ride. Let me do an Uber cash ride. They gonna get in the car. Hey, listen, I only got you got change for 100. You gonna be like, yeah, sure. You open up your thing and you going through your cash and give them. They gonna look at your cash and now you just they seeing how much cash you got. They got something in their pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like now they robbing you. At least now, if that passenger doesn't think I have cash. I usually 100%. If a passenger says, "Hey, I want to give you a tip," this is what I do. They say, "Hey, I want to give you a cash tip." Okay, cool. But do you have change for a 20? No, I'm sorry, I don't. Do I have change for a 20? Maybe. I don't know. But hey, do you have change for do you got change for 100? No, I don't. Because I don't want to let this passenger know. Just in the common sense thing. I don't let this passenger know that I got cash in my car. 'Cause again, we don't know who they are. This passenger could be crazy. You open up your thing or you reach in your pocket, you got that wad of cash, you coming through, yeah, I got a 20. They don't know you. I don't know. It's just a setup. It's just a setup. I'm just, yeah, obviously, I come from a neighborhood, I come from, I'm from a neighborhood where you got to be a little cognizant of your environment. And there's nothing about this that sounds good. So I personally will continue to not have cash in my car. When I do get cash tips, I personally take those cash tips and put them in the bank because I personally don't want no problems. If somebody should rob me, listen, I can walk away from the car, bro. Do what you got to do. Good day. I don't care about the stuff in this car. If in the future, side note, if you guys are watching my channel on Monday, Monday should be a big reveal. Big reveal, big news coming. So if you watch my channel on Monday, I will be posting a video, maybe a live stream. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, man. Something big is coming. So yeah, hustling every day. Drivewhip told me they are only accepting new drivers from Miami and Orlando only. Okay, yeah. Again, that's unfortunate. Like I said, it was a time where they were servicing more areas, but again, they don't talk to me, so I don't know. I just know that I have people in those other areas that have told me that they've gotten a car. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. um, but yeah, that doesn't carry sticker. I don't know. I'm gonna just be honest. Like the best thing that you could do is just keep the cash out of your car. Just put it in the bank. Or keep it at your house, or I don't know what you do with your cash, but like just keep it out of your car. So when you get it, go put it wherever you put it at. Put mines in the bank. I'm quick to just go, let me go put this in the bank real quick. Because even if you catch me on the way to the bank, you ain't getting much. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you got $20, cool. All right, have a good day. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was worth. I'm gonna make sure that I got cameras all around this car, so again, that's why I do that. So for me, I'm just trying to mitigate. That's the word. Mitigate the risk. Because if I got like hundreds of dollars in cash, it's dangerous. Because you hit me upside the head, you take nah, bro, nah. um, hello, I am back. Yeah, what's up? What's up? Uber banned me from driving because of autism. I'm sorry to hear that. Steve says no more dogs are allowed in my car. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know you posted this a while ago, but yes, sir. I just wanna listen, bro. I told you from the get-go no more dogs should be allowed in your car, but I just want to celebrate that, bro. Like, yes, no more dogs. Yeah, listen. I told you what to do. I can't legally tell y'all what to do, but Steve, I told you what to do. I told you what to do. But yeah, again, I can't legally tell you what to do. This is y'all market, y'all life, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I advised what I would do in the situation that Steve has gone through. I don't. I would not see dogs if I'm in Steve's position. If I don't see the passenger in their dog, then I just didn't see them. They didn't make themselves visible. Y'all remember as kids where I don't know if y'all parents did this to y'all, but when my parents used to pick me up, when my peoples used to pick me up, they used to tell me, "Make yourself visible." Hey, when I used to get picked up, they used to be like, "Make yourself visible," because if you don't make yourself visible, I'm gonna leave you. And you better believe it. That if I wasn't visible, they would ride right on by me, and it would be like, "Yo, so y'all just gonna leave me here? You just gonna let me sit here? Like, really? Make yourself visible." So I use that same analogy. If I'm coming and there's a dog and a passenger, and they're not visible, I don't see them. I didn't pick them up. I didn't see them. Unfortunately, they should have made themselves visible. Steve, you know what I'm saying, bro. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm telling you. From this point forward, I hope you take my advice. Cause yeah, unfortunately, you done been through some things. Uh, I just hope that you don't go through that anymore. I really hope you don't go through that anymore. I think I could accept this if they paid cash at like 7-Eleven, and then the 7-Eleven printed them a QR code and scanned that away. We're not the cashier, but that's not the plan. Yeah, no. Again, it's more work. That's a DSN. That's a good idea, but you see all of that effort. What you just said that before they take the ride, they got to go to 7-Eleven. Nobody gonna go to 7-Eleven before they go to the. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, or they gonna add a stop to 7-Eleven. That's more work. You see what I'm saying though? Do you see that it's no benefit to us as a driver? You just gave them a free stop so that I can get paid. When if I don't take that ride, if I don't take that cash ride, I get paid regardless. I get paid normally. Nah, I'm good. Oh, I'm hearing a little fly. My bad. You smell shoe smells from steel toe boots after a rainy day with the same socks on for do I smell? That made you laugh, you Joshua? You smell shoe sales from steel toe boots after a rainy day with the same socks on for 6 days? Okay. Stefan, I don't know what you're talking about, bro, but okay, whatever. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat, Stefan. Listen, between you and whatever floats your boat. No, my name ain't Joshua. and yeah, Stefan, I'm gonna laugh at everything. Welcome. Yeah, I'm gonna laugh. Yeah, I'm gonna laugh at everything. So yeah, it don't take much for me to laugh because I'm gonna laugh at everything. But yeah, man. As you guys can see, I got dark lights on me. Just because people are backing out of their parking spaces. It's a little dark now. I'm gonna let this fly get out. But yeah, man. Hertz charging 630 a week for the Tesla Model Y. Oh, Hertz coming back, huh? Yeah, listen. That's funny. Still wouldn't pay that because yeah, if you guys haven't heard, I was gonna go live for this too, but yeah, the Model Y is no longer on black. and obviously the Model Y is leaving Premiere. So, yeah, I wouldn't pay that. Nah, I definitely wouldn't pay that. Well, what I look like? I got this fly. Ah, my bad, y'all. You just hearing this fly in my ear, and it was a moth. He was just buzzing on the window. Oh yeah, he got on the window. Yeah. Hertz is charging 630 a week for the Model Y. Okay, I wouldn't pay that personally because the Model Y doesn't have yeah, like I said, on Uber it's from what I've heard, it's leaving Premiere. It has definitely left Lift Black. Um, so I wouldn't pay it if it's off for Premiere. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I gotta research it a little bit more. I don't know about that one. I definitely don't know about that one. um, I'm banned from I'm banned from using Uber Eats. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. My worst passengers are better than my worst human passengers. Okay. Listen, um, I don't have dog passengers. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't taken a ride that has a dog in a while. Just because they don't present themselves. So I haven't taken a dog in a while. I would yeah, I don't even know. I can't even tell. It's been a while. It's been about 2 years now. Yeah, it's been about 2 years. I haven't seen. Yeah, I haven't seen. Yeah, now that I think of it, I haven't seen. Can't even tell you. I haven't even had no experiences. If I'm being honest, like I haven't had a dog in my car in a while. I haven't taken a person with a dog in a while. It's because I haven't seen them. I haven't seen those. Those dogs. So I haven't seen them. Seen. It's been a while. It's been a long while. Um, a long while since I seen a dog in my car. In my car, like my passengers don't have dogs. At least the ones that I take. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Again, if Steve is still here, Steven, this is how you should be saying it. You just don't see the dogs with my passengers. If I'm taking them, I haven't seen a dog with a passenger in a while. I just haven't seen it. Steven, do you understand what I'm saying? If you're still here, Steven, if you are still here, I hope you understand what I am saying. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I don't have no problems with dogs. Honestly, because I don't see the passengers with the dogs. So I can't even tell you, what good experiences and bad experiences, because I haven't had any experiences in the last 2 years. But as I said, Stephen, if you are still listening, I have told you the situation. I've told you, I'm advising you what I would do in that situation. That's all I can do. That's all I can tell you because I haven't had those situations. If you guys are wondering what I'm saying, it's more of an inside joke. So yeah, Steve had a situation with a dog, and yeah, Steve has my last name, so I wanted to look out for him. Steve had a situation with a dog. Just trying to tell him how not to have those situations. Well, how situations with dogs. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. I don't have those situations. I haven't had one in 2 years. Never. because I just don't see them. Unfortunately. But yeah, man. Anybody got any questions, any comments, anything else? I mean, we done kind of got way off topic now. Been on here for so long, we done been talking about everything. Oh boy. Yeah, I am way off topic at this point. Um, so yeah, then before we go, so again, if you are in an emergency situation, you got a flat tire, you run out of charge in your Tesla or EV vehicle. Again, I want to just re-shout out Ron. Ron came into the chat earlier. It is Florida Mobile EV. Oh shit. No. Yeah, Florida Mobile EV. Wait, let me scroll up. That's not the thing he just told me. Florida Mobile. Uh, yeah, let me see. Hold on. Florida Mobile EV charging on social media. So sorry about that. So yeah, guys, if you ever get into a situation, you run out of charge, yeah, you run out of battery on the highway in a random area in South Florida, talk to my guy, uh, Florida Mobile EV. Florida Mobile EV on all social media platforms. Hit him up. This is the guy that you want to talk to. Again, if you run out of charge, you got to understand what the tow truck is going to do. They're just going to take your car to a charging station. They are not going to service the vehicle. They don't know what to do for the vehicles. Ron is an emergency mechanic. He specializes with EV vehicles. So you definitely want to talk to Ron before you talk to the tow truck so that he can service the vehicle. He doesn't have to take you to a charging station. He is a charging station. He can charge your vehicle on the side. I mean, I don't think he would, he if it's safe or whatever, he might charge you on the side of the road. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a point. Ron is the guy that you want to talk to. Ron is the guy that you want to talk to. Should something happen. Again, it's Florida Mobile EV on all platforms. Mr. DSN says, I agree that it's more work, but a significant portion of the population is unbanked, which means more rides. So I'm in favor. Well, listen, hey, Mr. DSN, you're a hustler. If that's your avenue, shout out to you. Shout out to you. As it was explained to me, I don't see any benefit in it. Um, yeah, I don't see any benefit in it. Just that's just where I'm coming from with it. I don't see the benefit. But if you see it, listen, I hope it works well for you, bro. I definitely hope it works well for you. Do you know any other companies offering Teslas besides Hertz and Drivewhip? Hustling every day, bro. Listen, I wish I did. I was trying to work with a couple companies. Unfortunately, so the issue with renting to Uber drivers. So I don't know if you knew, we used to have hire car that would rent to Uber drivers. But unfortunately, the issue with renting to Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, gig workers is commercial insurance is super incredibly expensive when it comes to rideshare. And most rental car companies, or at least the people that I've talked to, do not want to pay that. It makes their profit margin smaller, so they don't want to do it. Yeah. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm obviously I'm looking for another company because with the issues, again, this isn't a today isn't a huge issue. Not nothing serious, like the last two issues with Drive Whip, but it is, it seems like things are happening to them. So, it looks like they're on the downslide. I don't know. Um, I don't know. But yeah, so obviously I would love to find another company to be able to pivot to. But because I can't, and everybody that the companies that I've been talking to, they all say the same thing. Commercial insurance is so expensive. Commercial insurance is so expensive. It's like I can't really tell you any other place. The only place that you can get Teslas from, as of my knowledge, is Hertz, which Hertz, and Drivewhip. Those are the only two places down here in South Florida. Um, if you're like in Texas or if you're like in other places, there are other companies out there, obviously. But as of right now, here in South Florida, the only places that I can vouch for are Hertz and Drive Whip. And when I say vouch, I can't vouch for Hertz because it's gonna hurt. Because you gotta understand they're gonna Hertz is gonna get their money on the back end. They're gonna charge the hell out of you on the back end. That's how they do it. They get you in for cheap, and then they get you on the back end. Once they got your information, oh yeah, they're gonna get you on the back end. Drive Whip, on the other hand, they're just having these little small issues now. These things are just popping up. It's just to say that they're gonna be around for much longer. It's just hard. It's just the way it's looking. Again, I don't know. They've been around for a year. They have a lot of cars in the market. Say, yeah, it's just hard to say it with the issues that have happened. This is another issue. It's a small issue. Again, I'm making sure that I say it's a small issue. We still don't know about whether or not they are completely solidified with Uber because last word from Uber is your cars will be deactivated on the 31st. That's it. That's the last word. Uber has not come out and cleared them. But obviously, if you still have a drive whip Tesla, your car is still activated. So it's like it's a weird thing. Obviously, you would guess that you're fine, but because Uber hasn't said anything, it's hard to just be like, "Yo, I'm good." Now, Uber gave them thumbs up, no problem. You know what I'm saying? No problem. Drive whip is good, but it just they haven't. I mean, it's assumed that they gave them a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Everything is assumed right now. It was assumed previously when they accepted the insurance, and then they came right back out and said, "Hey, you got until the 31st." Who's to say that Uber won't come out again and say, "Hey guys, so you have until the 1st of May." You know what I'm saying? And actually do it and actually deactivate all of the cars. You just don't know. Unfortunately, you just don't know. I can't tell you anything because, like I said, I'm not affiliated with Drivewhip. I don't know anything. They just use my information for their social media. All of their social media, they use my face. So if you look for them, you search for them on social media, except for their YouTube channel. Yeah, that you'll see my face on there because I was one of the guys that tried to promote them. So you know, I can't say anything now. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not as confident as I was a year ago. Because their customer service always sucked. Their customer service has always sucked. So it's like you have sucky customer service, and now you got these question marks. Yeah. And so no, I don't know any other companies though, unfortunately. And I'm talking about I went through Facebook, I reached out to people that said that they're renting their Teslas. Um, and it's just hard. It's a hard conversation to have right now because they have to what would have to happen for a rental car company to be able to do and be, for you to be able to use it on Uber is you have to have a registration. Not the registration can be in anybody's name. You have to have an insurance document in your name. And that's the issue. To have commercial insurance in your name is expensive for a rideshare to cover it during for regular commercial expense. Regular commercial insurance is already expensive. Then you say it's commercial insurance for rideshare, it has to have certain limits and all of that stuff. It's even more expensive. And it just on the rental car side, it's just too expensive. That's what I've been told. Again, I don't know. I'm not a rental car company. I did say one day, if I can get my credit right, listen, I start a rental car company in a heartbeat. But yeah, all of that, you know, as of right now, I don't know any other companies. I gotta be honest. I gotta be straightforward. If a company reaches out to me and they say, "Hey, look, we're willing to work with you," I tell you guys. I won't tell you guys tomorrow, but I'll tell you guys as soon as I can vouch for them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the other thing. I don't want to tell you guys something and then you guys go into it and you know, yeah, yeah. Definitely don't want to tell you guys something and and I haven't vouched for it at least. I want to put my neck on the line and see, okay, yeah, they're actually a rental car company. I'm actually on the Uber platform. Actually have these cars here. This is what's happening. I've been with them for a month at least, and I got access to the car. You know what I'm saying? I want to go through some things with them and kind of be able to tell you, no, this is what they're a legitimate company. That's what I did with Drivewhip. As you can see, all of these people with Drivewhip, you guys haven't had any issues in these last couple weeks. So it's just one of those things, and just like I said, the customer service has always sucked. But a year ago, it was as long as you pay your payment, you're good. Um, as long as you pay your payment, you're good. I don't know. I don't know. um, yeah. So I don't mean I'm in favor of cash given to the driver. I mean, the 7-Eleven thing or other stores. No, no, Mr. DSN, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that it's an extra step because obviously the concept is that yeah, it may be. So like let's say it's that QR code thing. They have to get to 7-Eleven before you get what I'm saying? Like so let's say this person doesn't have a car and they're using Uber. So what you're proposing for them to do Uber Cash is they would have to be able to get to 7-Eleven first to be able to do the QR code, right? So that ride from there and there, this is me thinking about it. Or like, let's say you get the ride, they're gonna add that stop to 7-Eleven to be able to do the QR code. I don't like stops personally. I don't like stops. Um, yeah, I don't like stops. Yeah, I don't like those stops because those stops turn into years. Oh yeah, I'm just stop. I'll just be right in and out, and then it's like 5 minutes later. Well, the cashier, she just took forever. No, you was in there shopping. You know, I just had to get a couple things, and you come out with a shopping cart full. Nah, I don't like that. That's been my experience. Yes, I've had some people that's been really quick. They went in and they went out, but I've also had some people that's been, that's kind of abused that. And so I look at it overall. I don't want to deal with it, so I don't do the stops. When people say, "Hey, I need to stop here," listen. Here's what we can do. I can drop you off there, and you can call a new Uber. Oh well, no. Okay, so either I can drop you off where you want to stop, I can drop you off to your original location. Which one would you like? That's your choices. 'Cause I'm not gonna do the stop. I'm not waiting. And then the other thing is now I gotta wait for you. Y'all know we don't get paid for the wait time. Point 0.02 cents. Nah, man. I mean 0.02 cents. Point 0.2 cents. Nah, man. I remember I waited like 30 minutes for this guy. He went in there, he shopped, had a good time. Waited 30 minutes. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna rack up. I'm gonna rack up. You want to say it was only like $3 or $5 that added to the ride? The hell? My time is worth like $5? Nah. I never did it again. I never did it again. So yeah. So I'm just proposing possible, the possible situation. Obviously, the best situation is that to get there for them to get the QR code, The best possible situation is that what Mr. DSN is saying, in order for them to do the QR code, they have to catch a normal Uber ride to the 7-Eleven. They catch a normal Uber ride to the 7-Eleven, and now they're activated to do cash. You know what I'm saying? Now they're activated to do the cash ride system. So now the next ride that they do will be a cash ride. That would be the way that will. I would hope that will work. But I'm just saying, Mr. DSA, you know how Uber is. Uber doesn't care about us. So, that's probably not how that's going to work. That would be the most logical way, the most convenient way, the most not problem way. But you know how Uber is. Me and you both know Uber don't care about us. So it's just not, you know, how are they going to get the QR code? They're going to do a cash ride. It's going to be a stop. Or it's gonna be, it's gonna be a stop to the QR code, or it's gonna be a stop added on to the next ride. It's just not gonna be them trying to be, have this QR code, load this QR code up with money. It's not gonna be that situation. You just know it ain't gonna be that situation. Yeah. Have I ever rented the Maki? No, sir. No, sir, I have not. I have heard people say that the Maki is nice. I was going to rent the Maki. Unfortunately, yeah, man. Listen, I can't rent the Maki because I don't have a credit card. So yeah, yeah, I don't have a credit card. So I, I haven't even tried. I don't have a credit card. Yeah. So I don't even want to play the game of, I don't have a credit card. So I haven't tried to rent the Maki, but I've heard really good stories about the Maki. Yeah, that honestly was gonna be my next option if I hadn't did what I did that you'll find out about on Monday. You'll find out on Monday. I mean, if you still watch my channel or whatever, yeah, I'll do a review. So, yeah, I totally understand what you mean about the stops. I won't stop for this fellow who went in a Chipotle, bought a burrito, and then sat down and started to eat. That's when I left. They abused the stop. Oh, yeah, no, I'll be right out. I'll be right out. And then you see them in there chilling. And like, what do you do? What do you do? Like, or they do that situation right there, right? So they that stop. Now you know if you look at the ride from when they add the stop, you're now being paid less because the passengers know. They know that they add the stop while they're in the ride as opposed to before the ride, it's going to cost less. They know this. These people know this. So you're either you're gonna take an L in your money or you're gonna take an L in your time. And for me, I just feel like my time is more valuable. I don't do stops. It's not even that every single time has been bad. Like I said, I've had some good experiences where, they said, hey, I'm gonna add a stop, okay, cool. It was quick, they was in there. Literally, they didn't even stay in there for like 5 minutes. I've had good experiences. It's just I've also had bad experiences. And for me, look at it overall. Overall, I'm good. Overall, I don't want no problems. That's how I look at it. Yeah, he says I know what Uber is and has proposed the idea as a cluster. Exactly. You just know that they're not gonna do it in a way that benefits us. So exactly what you're saying benefits us. If they have this QR code, they've already loaded the money onto the QR code. We didn't have to do the transaction. They already have the money for the ride. You know what I'm saying? Like that makes the most sense. But again, that's more steps. That's way more steps than Listen, Uber deals with that transaction. See, this is what you don't. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if you see this. They're doing Uber Cash so that they, excuse me, the Uber Cash. Who does it benefit more? Does it benefit you as the driver, or does it benefit Uber as the company? Because they no longer have to deal with the transaction. They're going to charge you as the driver who has their account on their platform. They no longer are charging the passenger and dealing with the processing fees. So that you see, like, yeah, that's the whole point of Uber Cash. It's saving them money. That's the whole reason why Uber Cash came out. Because they're going to charge you their fees, which in response doesn't charge. They don't have to pay anything for that. 'Cause you have, obviously you already have a bank account with Uber. Like that, it's no real fees to your bank account with Uber. Does that make sense? They can charge you whatever they want to charge you because it's your bank account with them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. There's no fees in that. When they gotta take the transaction from the customer, there's a fee to that. I don't know if you guys know about the processing fee of processing credit card numbers. They got to deal with the payment and maybe bouncing and all of that stuff. That's so when they do Uber Cash, they don't have to deal with that anymore. You do. You as the driver do now. Because what I just said, what happens when that customer says, oh damn, I only got $40, but the ride was 47.25 or something like that. Guess who's getting gypped now? You are. But previously that was between the passenger and Uber. And Uber has to recoup their money or whatever. That's how that happened. That was an issue between Uber and the passenger. That had to get rectified, that had to be situated, that they had to process, that they had to pay a processing fee. But now it's no longer their processing fee, it's yours. So yeah, hopefully you see that aspect too. So yeah, it's not gonna be as easy as you think because it's not for you. It's not for your safety. They don't care about your safety. They're doing it. Uber Cash is to save money from their perspective. You get what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. um, but yeah, let me check something. Yep, let me see something. Let me see something. Yeah, let me make sure. Okay. All right. So, yep, my bad. So I was getting little issues. I was getting little issues on the stream. But yeah, guys. So I'm gonna get out of here, and you can see everybody doing all types of stuff around me. It's just kids, they just kind of doing their thing. When I say kids, these probably like teenagers. Um, yeah, exactly. Any new idea from Uber ain't gonna be in our favor. Exactly. That's the whole point. It sounds like it's cool. It sounds like it benefits us. But this is what I always say. You gotta think, why would Uber do this? It's the same thing about upfront fares. It's the same thing about what else? What else have they taken from us? You know what I'm saying? They taken so much. They changed so much. Them taking the Model Y off of Premiere. Why would they do that? Like all of these changes. What is it that they're trying to do? It doesn't benefit us. All of these things that they've quote unquote done for us. What have they done? The whole driver insights thing, the whole advantage mode, standard mode thing. None of these things actually benefit us. If anything, we get more alerts when we're on the road, when we're in. I ever paid attention? Like, okay, so I'm gonna say this last thing. You ever paid attention to how many alerts you get right before you're about to drop off a passenger? Yeah, let's say you're like down the street from a passenger. You ever seen how? I mean, especially if you do the lower, you do other platforms like X. Y'all ever paid attention to how many alerts you'll get right before you're about to drop a passenger off? But Uber wants that they care about your safety. They care about your safety. So why you give me 15 alerts right when I'm down the street? It's hard sometimes to even see where you're dropping the person off if you use the Uber Maps. That's one of the main reasons why I don't. But yeah, every now and then they catch me slacking, and I'll be in the Uber Maps, and it's like I get 15 alerts. Like, damn, you want me to drop this person off or not? Now, obviously, the person is looking back there. You just right there. Shut up. It asks you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it asks you. Yeah. It's right there. It's right there. It's right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't ask you where. Oh, boy. Y'all know how it be. Y'all know how it be. But yeah, man, I'm getting tired. So, and I need to make some money. So again, shout out to Mr. GSN. Thank you again, sir, for joining in the stream. Yeah, you got me tired. Y'all got me tired. I just got over here to tell y'all the updates for Drivewhip. Uh, hmm. But yeah, I'm tired of these kids flashing their damn lights at me. As you guys can see, they keep flashing their lights at me. So I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they do. I can see my face. They keep flashing the damn lights at me. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get out of here. This is yeah. I haven't been here too long. When they start doing all this dumb stuff, it's time for me to go. Yeah. Yeah, it is time for me to go when they start doing this dumb stuff. But yeah, man, I hope you guys liked the live stream. I hope everything was all good. I hope that was clear. Like I said, I'm not the drive whip whisperer. I don't know nothing about them. But yeah, so the video will come out in about an hour or two. I'll go ahead and have the video out. As you can hear, I got more mufflers. I don't know if you guys can hear it because I got my headphones in, but I got more mufflers coming around. So yeah, the kids. When I keep saying kids, but these are high school people. You know what I'm saying? I say kids because I'm a little older. I'm a little older, so my bad. But yeah, man, I'm about to get out of here. It's been real. I love you guys. I appreciate every single one of you for joining the stream, for talking to me. Obviously, Mr. DSM. Ryan, thank you so much. Listening every day. Thank you for joining in. Uh Horton, thank you for talking. Cool guy, thank you. Stefan, again, shout out to you. Steve, thank you, sir. No more dogs. Dracula, thank you for stopping by. That's a crazy name. Giuseppe, yeah, mess your name up, but all yeah, I'm sorry. Jice, Ron, again, if you need an emergency mechanic, you're in the South Florida area, check out Ron. That is Florida Mobile EV charging on all social media platforms. Flame Grill, thank you for checking me out. Mississippi, thank you. Patricia from Chicago, thank you for stopping by. Evan, I have no clue what you messaged, but thank you for stopping by. JW, what's up? What's up? Dom, thank you for chatting with me earlier. Raspberry, again, thank you for stopping by. I don't know why your messages always get deleted. Grasshopper, again, thank you. Um, Yeah, I think that's everybody. I think that's everybody. 305 driver again. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. James Bond, no grease. Yeah, just kind of going back to the comments. Listen, shout out to you guys. Paul, thank you again. Shout out to you. Listen, I am not a big live streamer. I'm not a big streamer at all. The Netflix CEO, I am not a big streamer. I'm not a big streamer. I'm not a big channel at all. So I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Jordan, thank you, sir. Again, I'm wishing you all of the best. Um, yeah, I'm not a big channel. So Bright Star, again, thank you. Cool, cool guy. I think I shouted you out. And Asabelic, yeah. Gracie, thank you. So yeah, again, I appreciate you guys for just chatting with me, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm tired. I did shout out everybody in the comments, but again, thank you guys. Hey, I'm out of here, man. Deuces. Check out the video in a couple hours, just to recap all of this. But yeah, see ya.